AskGods.com.
I think it just brings back those memories.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth will deliver a major news conference at 8 a.m. Eastern from the Pentagon. From President Trump on Truth Social, who's upset over reports that the strikes from Midnight Hammer on Iran's nuke sites missed the mark.
The site was obliterated, just like I said it was, and just like the pilots should be given credit for.
President Trump says those news stories misrepresented the facts. 10 reported tornadoes in parts of southern Minnesota. No reports of injuries or major damage. Parts of the Twin Cities dealing with flash flooding after heavy rain.
I didn't expect that there was going to be that much water.
More rain in the forecast today and waiting for a decision from the U.S. Supreme Court, including one concerning nationwide injunctions blocking President Trump's executive orders. America's listening to Fox News.
Coffee Drilling LLC, they offer a wide range of drilling services from small domestic water to agricultural and monitor wells. In addition to mud and rotary drilling, Coffee Drilling offers services to pre-existing wells as well as troubleshooting of pumps and all control systems. Call Coffee Drilling today to schedule your routine maintenance or see about an upgrade to your water system. Call 505-270-1767. That's 505-270-1767. Coffee Drilling LLC, over 20 years experience and serving all of Hobbs, Lovington, and Eunice.
Hey, man, turn that down. Where's my keys?
Hey, what's the rush?
I'm headed to the JC to sign up for some classes.
What's the hurry? We barely graduated.
I heard classes are filling up.
So what, you're gonna be a scientist or something?
Man, I could be a welder, police officer, barber, or maybe even a nurse. They make bank.
Yeah, right.
They even have audio and video classes for you.
Really? Hold up. Let me get my keys and I'll drive.
Just roll on out to New Mexico Junior College and register at nmjc.edu today.
Registration ends August 15th.
Hey folks, Brian Bruce here at Mustang Country Chevrolet in Denver City. Tired of waiting for service? Our service department is open and ready to take care of you today. Call, click, or come by and let us help you so you can keep rolling. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 6. Together, let's drive to Mustang Country Chevy, 604 West Broadway in Denver City. Your road to savings as big as Texas.
I was driving home from work.
I was heading out to meet my friends.
I was thinking about what I would make for dinner.
I was just changing the station on my radio.
I was checking my cell phone.
I was only trying to change lanes.
I never saw him.
I never saw him.
I never saw that motorcycle.
Until it was too late.
Unfortunately, sometimes drivers don't notice motorcycles on the road until it's too late. Be aware. Always look for motorcycles, because it's their road too.
Sponsored by NMDOT and aired in cooperation with the NMBA and this station.
NMDOT presents.
Are you serious?
I'm Jules.
And I'm Nico. Today we're looking at the top 3 most dangerous things you can do while driving. Number 3 is shaving your cat. Number 2, juggling buttered slinkies.
Is that butter?
And the number 1 most dangerous thing you can do while driving is being drunk.
We know that summer is party time, but you don't want it to be jail time.
So how about we designate a driver instead?
Yeah, shout out to the DD.
Hey, New Mexico, help us end DWI. This message brought to you by NMDOT.
Everyone is a kid at Cliffs.
I'm a Cliffs kid.
My mom was a Cliffs kid. My dad was a Cliffs kid. My brother and sister are Cliffs kids.
Even my grandma was a Cliffs kid.
Be a kid.
Get your tickets at cliffsamusementpark.com.
Over 30 rides and attractions
makes Cliffs a blast for everyone. You never have to choose at Cliffs. You get it all.
Get your tickets at cliffsamusementpark.com.
Be one with fun.
The 2025 UFO Festival is coming to downtown Roswell July 3rd through the 6th.
Many files are classified, but here's what we know so far.
Food trucks, vendors, live entertainment, the human and pet costume contest, the drone show, and the UFO light parade. Sponsors include XL Energy, Crumlin Auto Group, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Pecos Valley Production, Dion's Pizza, Lebrino Foods, and Pioneer Bank.
The classified schedule of events can be found at UFOfestival.com.
Presented by the City of Roswell, Main Street Roswell, and paid for in part by the City of Roswell Lodgers Tax.
Big changes are happening at the Lee County Event Center. They're undergoing a major renovation to bring you a better, more modern venue, inside and out. While the arena is temporarily closed during construction, they're still open for business. The banquet halls remain available and ready to host your next event. From safety meetings and corporate training to baby showers, birthday parties, and wedding receptions, the Lee County Event Center can accommodate you. Need space, service, and support? They have you covered with flexible rooms, affordable rates, and a professional team that cares. Conveniently located in Hobbs, New Mexico on the Lovington Highway. Let them help you plan your perfect event during this exciting time of transformation. Call 575-391-2901 to book today. The Lee County Event Center. The arena is closed, but the banquet halls are open. Your experience is their priority, even during renovation.
Southeast New Mexico weather.
Good morning. The forecast over southeast New Mexico is temperatures for the most part in Roswell 89 degrees, the upper 80s in Carlsbad, Artesia, and 86 degrees in Lovington. The chance for showers and thunderstorms, it's 60%. Temperatures drop tonight into the mid-60s. Tomorrow, again, temperatures warm to about 90 degrees in Roswell and 90 degrees in Carlsbad, Artesia, with a 30% chance for thunderstorms. For W105 FM, I'm meteorologist Ron Roberts.
Your country plays on W105.
Hello? And there is a great deal of excitement and anticipation in the air.
Actually, it's a beautiful voice and a beautiful accent. The only problem is I can't understand a word you're saying.
In the Breakfast Club, being powered by Permian Ford, with the goal of being your #1 Ford dealer in New Mexico and West Texas. Broadcasting from the Inn of the Mountain God Studio. The question of the day, brought to you by Lovington Auto Supply. They have parts for semis, heavy trucks, and industrial trucks. Text line being brought to you by Amigo Machinery, your Kubota dealer.
I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there.
Call or text now, 877-396-W105 to talk to us.
Morning! Morning!
We are V and the Breakfast Club.
Thursday can't get here soon enough.
That's today!
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Really? But tomorrow's Friday.
All right, calm down.
Let's get through today.
Shut up! Nobody asked you.
I love your positive attitude.
It's a perfect way to start the day.
Yeah. So are you ready to get started?
Really need some coffee.
I'm gonna need more than coffee.
Coffee's good.
It's a start.
Okay, let's get going. It's showtime, folks.
All right, it is another day in paradise. Our number 877-396-W105. Blake in the studio.
Yes, sir.
I got one problem, Blake.
And that is?
I sent in the question of the day early this morning, and I forgot what the question is. I can't remember to save my damn soul.
Let me go look and see if I can find it real quick.
Yeah, because I have no Facebook.
Right.
And the phone I sent it on, I'm using as a camera, so I am pretty much
the question
messed
of
over.
The day is
how much credit card debt is okay?
There you go.
Yeah. There you go. How much credit card debt is acceptable? And I battled those demons before, and you never come out on top.
Nope.
I was able to pay off all the debt, but battling them, I lived off of credit cards because being a single dad and my kids had no insurance, and one tonsil surgery took it over the top.
Yeah.
Yep.
One root canal. Yeah, and so. But you do what you got to do.
You do.
So how much credit card debt, Blake, is acceptable?
It really depends on the person and their income and all that things. And if they are paying it off monthly or every couple months, or if they are just racking it up, right? There is nothing that will turn your life upside down faster than racking up a lot of debt.
True story.
Well, because you can never get from under it. It's
and they try and give you, you get bonus points if you use it at the grocery store. So let's say you buy a steak for $20 and you put it on your credit card, but you don't pay that credit card off every month. That $20 steak is going to end up costing you $100.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is a smart move to use the points, but you got to pay off the card every month.
Yes.
You have to use it like an American Express.
If you're juggling a big purchase, let's say,
Right.
And so you're going to finance that purchase, whatever it is. Example, I wanted to go and buy one of the storage buildings. Okay. And I said, okay, so should we just go ahead and pay all straight out cash for it? Should we finance this thing, or what do we want to do? And it was like $6,000, right? So it wasn't a huge purchase, but they wanted like 30% interest on this if you financed anything on it. And so Kim goes, well, just put it on your Discover card. We pay that off every month. And at 16% on Discover, that's half on the interest rate.
Right.
So, So when we were moving into the new house, that's what we did. And so it was,
I mean,
2 months to pay
if you
off,
do stuff like that, it makes it a little bit more palatable. But I like to go by, percentage of take home pay and how much are you putting on, on your credit debt. And maybe you've got to make some lifestyle changes.
Yes.
I know nobody wants to hear lifestyle changes.
No. But remember, the borrower is slave to the lender.
You are
so if if you owe debt, I don't care if it's a car or a house or a credit card,
right?
You owe that lender whatever you do.
Now, I will say this. If you do not have debt, look for your credit rating to go down.
Right.
Big
which
time.
is why we keep the Discover card going and we pay it off every month.
So I have no debt, zero debt in the United States. And my credit score went all the way down. I think I'm like hovering around a 600.
Well, it's because credit rating isn't really tied to how good you are as a payer. It is how much debt you carry.
Yeah, no doubt. Beautician Day going on today. Forgiveness Day. If you want to forgive somebody, you can. International Day of Support and Victims of Torture Day. Barcode Day. Yeah, the good old barcode. Bomb Pop Day. Chocolate Pudding Day. Coconut Day. Handshake Day. Is a handshake still a handshake nowadays? When you shake somebody's hand, does it mean what it used to mean? We didn't have all this credit card debt. You go to the neighbor and say, hey, can I borrow a couple $100? I'll pay you back at the end of the month. Handshake.
But then you paid it back.
Yeah, that's the problem. Tropical Cocktail Day going on today. And I got it wrong yesterday. And I want to start the show by saying I did get it wrong. The socialists that won the New York City mayors, that was the Democratic primary. So he still will have to run against a Republican. But New York City hasn't had a Republican mayor in a long, long time. So it looks like he's probably going to win that.
Well, maybe. I mean, you have Eric Adams, who is the current mayor that's running as an independent.
Right.
Cuomo may get in the race as an independent. So that's going to split all those votes down anyway. Sure. And the guy who is the founder of the Guardian Angels in New York, he ran last time. He's running as the Republican. Now, he lost to Adams last time, but that's, I don't remember.
Yeah, his name, it's one of those, it starts with an S.
Yes, but I don't.
Slosser thing. Yes. But the current
sounds like something
mayor,
Ozzy Osbourne would call him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Looks like the current mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, calling the Democratic Socialist candidate, Zohran Mamdani, a snake oil salesman. But you know what? He swears that he's not a snake oil salesman because that sounds way too capitalistic for him. It really does. New York's mayor race is turning into a complete clown show, which is probably fantastic news for South Florida real estate about right now. Probably pretty good. Top Biden aide said that she was authorized to direct the auto pen signatures, but was unaware of who is the president was in the inner circle that was giving her final clearance.
Silwa.
At this at this point, I feel like it's the Magic 8 Ball. You know, the whole country was running on the damn Magic 8 Ball.
It was.
And we were like, 8 Ball, Hunter in the pocket.
Mm-hmm. So who, because she said she would send a memo to the inner circle and then they should wait for an approval.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So you got to remember the inner circle includes Jill and Hunter and all those. So there is a very real possibility that Hunter Biden approved his own pardon. And Curtis Silwa is the Republican.
Yeah, there you go. I was looking for that as we went. Yeah, that's his name. Man, how messed up is that? But yeah, Hunter says it wasn't the Magic 8 Ball, because if it was 8 Ball, he'd already done it. I mean, he's not going to mess around with 8 Ball. No way. Costco is partnered with Instacart and to compete with Amazon, and is now offering same-day delivery on their website, so you can get same-day delivery on Costco. I bet that is going to be at selected locations. By the way, if you use the code Summer Same Day 25, you're going to get $50 to spend. Right now, that's not going to be like in rural areas. I can't see same day delivery. No. And heart disease is the leading cause of death around the world. Yet a new study found that death from heart attacks have dropped to nearly about 90% in the United States. Later on in the show, I'm going to tell you what is killing people in the United States. It might surprise you. We talked about this yesterday. McDonald's Krispy Kreme's official partnership is done. And Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, briefly hospitalized yesterday, felt lightheaded at the gym, and the culprit. Did you hear what happened?
I heard what happened, but not why.
Yeah, why?
He was dehydrated. Yeah, that's, this is why they say if you're going to the gym, please stay hydrated. Mm-hmm. I do my best to drink 2 liters of water while I'm at the gym. And I know that sounds like a lot, but I see guys with the gallon jug.
Oh, yeah. And look, and a lot of times if you're sweating really hard, just water isn't enough. You need electrolytes.
Mm-hmm.
Because your body
That's why I put my Celtic salt that's got minerals and potassium and
I'm gonna when you get back here, I'm gonna let you try some of this fluid that I have. It's called Fluid. That's the name of the stuff that I use. I'm gonna let you try that.
And I've tried some of that hydration stuff, but it just has this aftertaste.
No, this one doesn't, and that's why I like it.
Tastes like it, right?
Oh, cool.
Similar?
Yeah.
No.
I'll let you try it.
Netanyahu's trial should be canceled, and he should be given a pardon, according to Donald Trump. Trump yesterday called for Israel to pardon Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and cancel this corruption trial. So Netanyahu indicted in 2019 in Israel on charges of bribery, fraud, and breach of trust, all of which Netanyahu denies. The trial began in 2020 and involves 3 criminal cases, and he has pled not guilty to all of that. And remember, he stepped down. Well, he didn't step down. They voted him out.
Right.
And then right before this war started again, you know what? You need that war dog.
Yep.
You need the guy that's got a set of cojones. Yeah. And he definitely has the set of cojones. All right, tweet of the day coming up. We'll check the weather in just a second. New Mexico Supreme Court ordered a pause in the trial for the 2 former firefighters accused of rape. The rape trial against 2 Albuquerque firefighters scheduled to last all week, but now has been put on pause by the New Mexico Supreme Court to determine whether the charges against them are valid. Aiden Heyman and Anthony Martin are accused of sexually abusing a woman while off duty at a party. There were 3 men charged, all 3. The third guy was also a firefighter, Angel Portillo. And so investigators say Heyman, Martin, and Portillo, all firefighters, took turns raping this woman at Martin's home before she escaped through a bathroom window. The judge, Britt Baca, informed the court about the Supreme Court's decision. The jury has been put on recess until Friday, but no mistrial yet. The Supreme Court is reviewing the claim by defense. And, so we'll see what happens. I mean, look, the grand jury indicted all three of these defendants, but they say that there was a flaw in the instructions by the state.
What flaw in the instructions?
God only knows, but did they rape the damn woman? The hell with the flaw by the instructions.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Or, did they say, okay, you can only say they be bound over for trial if you think that this is enough to warrant that they might have done it. She escaped out through the window.
Yeah, I mean, her life was threatened. At least she thought her life was threatened.
So let a jury
and the
hear
crazy thing is they repeatedly raped her. I'm talking about round 1, 2, 3, 4, and God only knows where. Supposedly, somewhere, in another story, it said that they had prepared for this by taking multiple enhancements to be prepared. Iran, Israel, and the U.S. all agreed that the Islamic Republic nuclear sites were badly damaged. Despite the leaked intel, Donald Trump scolded news reporters yesterday. I will get to that. And Daddy Trump is the man. I was telling Blake before the show, in Europe and in Asia, calling you daddy is a term of endearment. It's respect. And so when I first came to the Philippines and I would record videos, this is back, 12 years ago. And, all these kids calling me Daddy Kevin. And my brother was very concerned going, what's up with them calling you daddy? And I'm like, it's just a sign of respect.
Sure.
Who's your daddy?
You've been busy.
Yeah.
Kevin's
man,
I'm your daddy.
I was woe out. Yeah. But
I don't like that term except for my kids, right? I mean, that's the only one I want calling me that.
I mean.
Now, Monica, is it appropriate? Who's your daddy?
No.
No. Not generally. No.
She had to think about it.
There are certain places where daddy is appropriate, but not like that.
Right.
Okay.
Not at a press conference.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed watching Marco Rubio.
It was funny.
It was hilarious.
That guy.
Yeah, that was funny.
Marco Rubio, he is on his game.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, Marco Rubio is straight-laced. And look, I'm saying, I love J.D. Vance. But I think Marco Rubio is more mature and more, as far as being ready to be president of the United States.
Well, he's definitely his response to being questioned and all of that. He is definitely showing that.
Person. Absolutely.
Spot
He's
on.
Like a no
1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right, we're going to talk about Trump.
He brings those Democrats to tears.
Oh,
because they can't handle the truth.
We're going to talk about Trump overseeing a record level of rejections for asylum cases. And you know what that means? They're getting deported. They're out of there. And a mother accused of leaving her kids in a hot car. We're going to talk about that. And Trump named he is going to name the next chair. Is it too early to weaken Jerome Powell? Federal Reserve Board, we'll get to that. And the Mavericks get the first pick in the NBA draft. I will get to those stories coming up. And a great story about Carmelo Anthony and Metcalf. That is the tweet of the day. This guy laid it all out. And I've been kind of harping on this for months that, I don't care what color somebody is.
Nope.
Right.
If they murder somebody, they murder somebody. We should call them out.
Yep.
So this guy did. We'll get to that coming up in just a second. Quick check of the weather, then we'll get to the text. Weather this morning being brought to you by North Star Laundry, one-stop shop for all your laundry. They offer dry cleaning, pressing, starching, wash, dry, and fold your clothes. Walk in, drop off your clothes, pick them up at a later day, and they will all be ready to go. They also allow you to wash, dry, and fold your own clothes, and they're open 7 days a week with coin-operated machines. All three of their locations. One-stop shop for all your laundry, 609 West Lee in Carlsbad, 604 West Church, Carlsbad, 406 West Cedar, and Loving. Check them out today. Looks like southeast New Mexico. We've got rain in the forecast, 40% chance of rain. High temperature getting up to 90. Flash flood watches in effect for southeast New Mexico, along with Lincoln County. 70% chance of rain today in Lincoln County. Looks like 74 for the high, 20% chance of rain tonight, and still some rain in Ruidoso coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon. And in Albuquerque, high temperature today getting up to 92 with sunny skies, 64 tonight, 93 tomorrow. And I see no rain in the forecast all the way through maybe Monday, they're saying, a chance of afternoon showers. Quick look at the weather this morning being brought to you by our buddies at Last Make a Mirror. At Last Make a Mirror, it is the greatest mirror on the market. Yeah, I'm not playing. I'm serious. Now, At Last Make a Mirror, there is none like the At Last Make a Mirror. So if you got a mirror and it's really not up to your standard, you probably need to move up to the At Last Make a Mirror. ×1, ×5, ×10 magnification. LED lights. This thing is very compact. The mirrors, you got ×1, it slides out, ×5, ×10, then you fold them all back up. It goes in the traveling case. It weighs less than 4 pounds. If you do a lot of traveling, this is perfect. And guys, you can use it too. You want to look good, trim the beard, and keep looking good? Yeah, At Last Make a Mirror. Call Rebecca Long today, 575-631-3189. Web address is atlastmakeamirror.com. Make sure and talk to her about the pocket mirrors. The small one it lights up, and the mirror is great. It is $29.99. The larger one that goes in the purse is $39.99. Follow them, Facebook, Instagram, and just go to the website, atlastmakeamirror.com, and ask about the wall mount for the At Last Make a Mirror. Awesome mirror. Probably the best mirror on the market. No, I'm not going to say probably. The best mirror on the market. All right, Monica, 627. We're talking about credit card. What is a acceptable amount of credit card debt?
Smokey in Arizona says, good morning, guys. And Monica, have a good day. Good morning to you, Smokey. Have a wonderful day. Rocket said, Monica, I'm almost 60 and I have never had a credit card. So
Amen.
0. Rocket,
Wow.
That's incredible. I don't think a lot of people can say that. Jeff from the Patch says, only what you can pay off at the end of a billing cycle.
Amen.
Richard in the Patch says, some credit card debt is okay, but I try and keep the balance of my credit card lower than the balance in my savings account.
Amen.
That's pretty smart.
No.
And
Cool
your
hand.
credit score will be very
Correct.
different if you're under 30%.
Absolutely. $50,000 minimum or all maxed out, but this is only okay just before bankruptcy, says Julian Lynn.
No.
And Jody from Lovington says, have y'all listened to the Fox News this morning? It's talking about flooding at the Twin Cities, and every time I try to push 1 for English to see what they say. Jerem says, did y'all know in the Big Beautiful Bill that they're trying to sell off 2 to 3 million acres of public lands? This should piss off any outdoor men. Anyone or everyone needs to contact a representative to get this removed from the bill.
Yeah, we've been talking about this, and that look, I found out some new information about it, and I'm going to let Teresa Legger Fernandez represent it. All the land is within 5 miles of a city.
Yeah, but that shouldn't matter, right? Like, I understand what they're doing, but this is kind of like trying to take that small farm in New Jersey. It's really close to the town too. And again, I want to encourage our New Mexico lawmakers. I know it's not till January, but that's not that far away.
Sure.
Craft legislation that will say, and we have $30 billion in the bank. We will buy it and give it to the state.
Yeah, buy the federal land. That's why I asked the other day, how's it going to affect your life? Because I'm going to be honest, selling off the federal land does not affect my life in any way.
Well, if you live close to there, it might.
Right.
But
yeah. And so that's why I was asking, how does it affect your life? And, just like they just said, if you're an outdoorsman, it will affect your life.
Yes. If you like to go to our national parks, our monuments, our things like that, like, in southern New Mexico, I know if you like to go to Organ Mountains.
Sure.
Like that, I know that's one of the ones on the chopping block. I know that there's some areas of the Santa Fe National Forest up there.
But it's only chunks of it, right?
Yes,
it's not
it like you said, it's within certain parameters and things of that nature.
Right.
But I think when you have a lot of population, you kind of need those buffers of nature, let's say. I don't want to say wild spaces, but you need green spaces, right? Sure. I mean, because if you have
but most of the land is in Alaska, and is it South Dakota or North Dakota?
Well, it's obviously it's split up over all the western states because that's where most of the federal land is. But most of the acreage that they're talking about is in Alaska, and it's places nobody is.
Yeah, I mean, nobody has ever gone there. Very few people.
Right.
Okay.
I didn't grow up. I didn't grow up with federal land. I grew up in Louisiana. We don't have federal land.
Right.
I mean, we hunt on our own property.
Well, I think that there's a little bit, but I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Isn't part of the Atchafalaya? Isn't it?
Nope.
No,
I don't think so.
Okay.
This texter said 0, no debt is okay. And I got my credit card debt up to $15,000 due to COVID. I'm slowly paying it off. Cordelia wants to wish Alfred Gutierrez at RDL a very happy birthday today.
Happy birthday.
So happy birthday, Alfred, from us and Cordelia. This texter.
Well, I take that back, Blake. There is 1.4 million acres of federal land, but it's all up north.
Okay. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
The northern part.
There is land kind of all over, and it's more so when you get west of the Mississippi, but there's still some other areas. And again, it's usually recreation, hunting, things like that is what people go for.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think of it, you think of the big national parks, and that's not what they're selling off, right? Like example, if you go between Tatum and Roswell, there's a lot of BLM land out there. Mescalero Sand Dunes is out that way. But on the north side of that is a lot of BLM land as well. I don't know if any of that is up because it's not adjacent to any population center.
Sure.
But that's the kind of areas that we're talking about. We're not talking about very used and very frequented things.
And when they give that 1.4 million, it includes like Department of Defense, like military bases.
Yes.
So,
but again, in New Mexico, we have a way to address that if our lawmakers would step up and do it.
Nah, they're not going to do that. Continue, Monica. It's 6:33.
All right. Come on, boys. Y'all know as well as I do, if you give the government an inch, they'll take a mile. Just leave it alone. Plain and simple, says Germ. The well-groomed beard guy says it's not just about the land in New Mexico. I hunt all over the country and the world, and taking this land will affect the hunting industry big time. Another texter said as long as they don't sell the land to the Chinese, Good.
Amen. That's
And
the
these will be
biggest
the last two. Benjamin Netanyahu needs the war with Iran going on because once the war is over, they're going to lock his corrupt tail up. And this one made me chuckle. Did y'all hear that Donald Trump is building a new golf course in Iran? He's already got the first 3 holes done.
Yep.
That's it.
These guys can't wait. All right, we're going to get to Trump overseeing record levels of rejected asylum cases for immigrants. We'll get to that. 6:34 morning show this morning being brought to you by La Tienda. La Tienda Thriftway, Canal in Carlsbad, home of the taco bar, home of the greatest tortillas out there made from scratch. Flour tortilla, corn tortilla, shells, chips. They've got all of that and more. But try the taco bar. And if you need a cake for your next big party or whatever, made from scratch cakes in the bakery department. Some of the specials this week, the sirloin cut pork chops, $1.97 a pound. Raw shrimp, $5.97 a pound. Chicken tenders are just $2.97 a pound. And round steak, $3.97 a pound. Produce department, the avocados are $5 for $1.99, and 3-pound bag of yellow onions for 99 cents. Also get the russet potatoes for $1.99 for a 5-pound bag, and green bell peppers, 3 for $1. If you're looking in the deli department, you could save big time right now. Get your bread first. It's split top honey wheat bread for $1.68 a loaf, and get the turkey breast. It's smoked for just $7.49 a pound. Virginia smoked ham for $5.49 a pound. Mild cheddar cheese for $7.49 a pound. And if you're looking for refreshments, don't forget they're always stocked with cold beer and everything you need. But right now, get Coke, Dr. Pepper, and Sprite, the 6-pack of half-liter bottles. Get them right now, 2 for $10 at La Tienda in Carlsbad. 6:37. I'll get to the tweet of the day coming up in just a second. Looks like Donald Trump overseeing record levels of rejected asylum cases for migrants. And this is the problem. And this is a problem that Joe Biden caused and his administration, because they let so many people in that we knew damn good and well they were not going to be able to stay. They did not meet the criteria that was laid out for asylum. But under Joe Biden, they never went back. And so Joe let them in and didn't track them, didn't know where they were at. But Donald Trump overseeing record percentage of rejections for asylum seekers, data that was published by Austin Koch at the Trans Records Access Clearinghouse, better known as TRAC, saying that 11,535 cases for migrants that were denied entry into the United States. So Donald Trump is batting pretty good right now. On a monthly basis, the percentage of asylum cases denied had previously been about 40%. During Obama, he was up to 75%. Donald Trump is up to 80%. Most of these asylum seekers do not fit the criteria. Just because your country has high crime should not make you available to come to the United States, because we got high crime.
Right.
I've done that before. There is a site you can go to that looks at the violent crime level across the world. And there are places that, people, I'm fleeing for my life from violence. And the countries they were coming from, our country was more violent than their country.
Wow.
Think about that. Third world countries don't mean that violence is always higher.
Sure.
No, it just means that
they don't have it as good.
Yeah, that's.
I am sick and tired of seeing stories that people leaving their kids in hot cars. A mother accused of child abuse after leaving her toddler in a hot car will not be held until trial. Gabriella Cardenas was in front of the judge, David Murphy, pre-trial detention hearing on Wednesday. Albuquerque police were called to after a 3-year-old was found alone in a car, 100-degree day. When asked about it, the mom told the police that she thought it was a quick trip to the store, and it ended up being not a quick trip. By the way, Cardenas now, is under she's under supervised probation until her trial, and it looks like she's got orders from CYFD. So she's not remaining in jail. Donald Trump naming the next Federal Reserve chair.
Good.
So the president very frustrated with the Federal Reserve Board's decision to maintain the status quo with its benchmark interest rate is leading him to accelerate the timeline for announcing a replacement for Jerome Powell. Yeah.
Well,
by the way, Powell's term ends in May.
He's the first one from the Fed who pretty blatantly made it political.
Yeah.
Now, even though he said he didn't, he lowered interest rates when they said they wouldn't because of certain benchmarks. And then when we've reached those benchmarks, he said, no, we can't lower the interest rates because that'll make President Trump look good.
Yeah. And he's supposedly a Republican. I don't get it.
Yeah, he's a Republican like McConnell's a Republican.
Yeah, maybe so. Cooper Flagg is got a brand new home in Dallas. So Mavericks took the Duke forward, number 1 pick in the draft, and this guy is heading to Dallas.
Did you hear the odds on that for the odds makers for him?
No.
You had, in order to win $1, you had to bet $1,000.
So everybody knew that he would be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like the Spurs. Was it 2 years ago? Took the big skinny kid, foreign player. They got the number 2 pick.
Yes.
You know what that means is your team really, really stinks. That's what that means.
Well,
all right. Tweeted.
They might be building, but I don't pay a whole lot of attention to the NBA. But yeah, I get it.
Spurs' problem is Greg Popovich. He's old. He's gotten political.
Yep.
Time for him to hang up the sneakers. All right, Annie Ice, California Senator. Now, is it Jose Padilla or is it Alex Padilla? I mean, my mind is not as good as it used to be, okay?
I kind of like Jose.
Alex Padilla maintains a very close relationship for years with a group that is tied to the anti-deportation riots, and they received $2 million of taxpayer funds. Padilla marked the funds for the Human Immigrant Rights, the Coalition for Human Migrant Rights group. Blake, remember those guys? Those are the guys that, funded this whole darn thing. Anyway, he's been friends with them for years.
Of course he has.
So Padilla has earmarked that they get money.
Of course, because those are his buddies.
That's his buddies. Has been for a long, long, long time. All right, we're going to get to the tweet of the day. Still to come, thought for the day. We're going to get to the price of oil this morning. We'll head back to the text line. Our number 877-396-W105. Tweet of the day this morning being brought to you by Zia Guns, 1907 North Main in Roswell. Over 1,000 guns in stock, handguns, rifles, and shotguns. Looking for personal protection. They offer lethal and non-lethal personal protection. Find the right gun at Zia Guns. Trade in your old gun to get a better gun. Or if you're interested in selling guns, go chat with them. 575-622-0023. Check them out today at Zia Guns, 1907 North Main, Roswell. Closed on Saturday, always open on Sunday. I was waiting for it. This guy's name on TikTok is Divine Separation.
What?
I was waiting for somebody to call out fellow black folks for what they did, propping Carmelo Anthony up as a hero in the African American community. And I think sometimes it takes somebody of the same race to go, hey, you guys are full of it. You really, really are. Listen to what this guy had to say about the whole Carmelo Anthony, who is now been charged with first-degree murder and will be going to trial very, very soon for the death of Metcalf, Austin Metcalf in Frisco, Texas. Listen to what this gentleman had to say. Well, that would be cool if it would play. Remember this morning, Blake? I told you I had a computer turn off. And, I sampled these this morning. Everything was good. All right, I got it. Let me go back and connect. All right. Now, listen to what this gentleman had to say.
Black folks defended Carmelo Anthony after the stabbing. But enough of you did. Blindly, emotionally, and recklessly to drag the entire culture into the mud with him. And now the system ain't just going after him. They're sending a message to all of us. The case, one blade, two families, zero discernment. Carmelo and Austin Metcalf were both 17. Track meet, witnesses, cameras, one dead, one indicted. Carmelo admitted to the stabbing, even claimed self-defense. But instead of letting the process breathe, some of y'all turned this into a campaign, a spectacle, and a litmus test for who's really black and who's not. $500,000 raised, but not for the truth, but for tribal ritual. Let's talk receipts. Over $500,000 were raised for Carmelo. Not because of verified injustice, not because the facts were clear, but because he was black, and that was all some of y'all needed to hear. Meanwhile, the victim's name barely made it into your captions. Y'all had GoFundMe links faster than the coroner had the report. Y'all came to social media and turned murder into marketing. Y'all really hit people timelines with, he stood on business. That white boy shouldn't have touched him. Black boys tired of being disrespected. Those receipts are documented and recorded. Argue with your mama.
Argue with your mama. You know, the crazy thing is, it shouldn't matter if somebody is white, right and wrong, is more of a fact. Black, white, brown, it really doesn't matter.
Nope.
Right, wrong. And now this kid, the sad thing is, this kid is going to jail he's going to go to prison for the rest of his life because it's documented. It's on video. It's sad.
The sad thing is, that he went there with the intent to do something.
Sure.
Yeah. It's just sad. I mean, to make it, it wasn't a knife. It was a cleat sharpener. Are you smoking crack?
Yeah, he kept it right next.
There's no such thing as a cleat sharpener.
I was going to say, he kept it right next to the shingle stretcher.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. And the blinker fluid.
Yes.
Yeah, when his dad had to change the blinker fluid.
And the Henway.
We talked about Marco Rubio. And here's what Marco Rubio had to say about the Iranian nukes and the leaked report.
Stuff about the intelligence. This is what a leaker is telling you the intelligence says. That's the game these people play. They read it, and then they go out and characterize it the way they want it characterized, and they're leakers. This is the game they play. So that's number one. Number two, here's a fact. The conversion facility, which you can't do a nuclear weapon without a conversion facility. We can't even find where it is, where it used to be on the map. You can't even find where it used to be because the whole thing is just blackened out. It's gone.
It's wiped out.
It's wiped out. Then we dropped 12 of the strongest bombs on the planet right down the hole in 2 places. Everything underneath that mountain is in bad shape. And I refer you to the statement of the IAEA, Mr. Grossi. You know what he said? He said there was Iran, the way it looked the day before the attack, and what their nuclear program looks like now. 2 very different things. They are way behind where they were just 7 days ago.
So Marco Rubio is ticked off because some of these news outlets decided that they were going to poo-poo the idea, but Trump came out yesterday and just slammed them and told them they should be ashamed of themselves.
You should be proud, especially you, should be proud of those pilots, and you shouldn't be trying to demean them.
No,
those pilots flew at great risk, a big chance that they'd never come back home and see their husbands or their wives. Let me just tell you, you and NBC, fake news, which is one of the worst, and CNN, New York Times, are all bad. They're sick. There's something wrong with them. But you know what? You should be praising those people instead of trying to find something. By trying to go and get me, you're hurting those people. They were devastated. You know, I got a call from Missouri, great state, that I won 3 times by a lot. And I got a call that the pilots and the people on the plane were devastated because they were trying to minimize the attack. And they all said it was hit. But we don't think it was.
It was the greatest hit ever in the world.
Amen. I just love how he has to throw in his victories in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. CNN talking about we're gonna raise taxes in New York City, and I love the way that the conservative came to the defense. And Joy Bubblehead Reed was out there. She's one of the smartest people. In fact, I think she was she graduated Cum laude. Oh my goodness. And yesterday she said, if you give Iran nukes, it will be much safer.
What a moron.
They'll feel comfortable. Well, listen to what she had to say about raising taxes in New York City.
Would return New York City to the 1970s hellhole Times Square. What is your evidence of that?
It's very simple. So he wants to raise taxes on people who make the most money. What eventually is going to happen is you're going to lose that tax base. Once you lose that tax base, our bonds will get degraded. Now the city budget will not be substantial enough to subsidize not only the cops but the fire department, the sanitation department. Once you start losing Wall Street and people who pay $11,000, $12,000 a month to live on the Upper East Side, you're done. Let me ask you. And you go back to the 70s when Gerald Ford said to New York, drop dead.
Okay, but I mean, he's 100% correct. People have already left New York City because of high taxes. I mean, why did Donald Trump leave?
Taxes.
Why did Rush Limbaugh leave?
Taxes. And they both continue to say they love the city.
Right.
They love the city, but they just were not, crime got out of hand, and they just weren't going to put up with the high taxes. Everybody wants to pay less taxes. We all want to pay our fair share, but come on. That's crazy.
But what is fair share? I think fair share is an equal.
Fair.
It's an equal percentage across the board.
True.
Yep. All right, we're going to talk about deportations and what Jasmine Crockett and Representative Ramirez had to say. We'll get to that up next. Price of oil this morning being brought to you by Spinnaker Cementing Solutions, a division of Cud Energy Services. Spinnaker built to serve the largest drilling programs. Yeah, they are prepared too. Look, they've got 200 experienced cementing professionals and ready to go to work. They've got 25 crews in Texas, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. Find them at Hobbs at 324 North Magnum Industrial Road, or go to the website spinnakeroil.com.
West Texas checking in, up 2 cents this morning to 64.94. Brent crude is off 3 cents at 67.65. Natural gas is down a nickel at $3.35, and the wholesale price on gasoline up a penny at $2.09. Kevin?
All right, we're going to get to Jasmine Crockett coming up in a second and our thought for the day. Looks like contractors to pay $1 million to settle regarding overcharges at Cannon Air Force Base. So the U.S. Attorney's Office announced Monday they have reached a settlement with the contractor over allegations that it violated the contract requirements that were given by the Air Force, inflating the prices at Cannon Air Force Base. The contract issued by the Department of the Air Force required Noble Supply and Logistics, LLC, to provide supplies and materials for upkeep at the base and for their infrastructure and civil engineering needs, but it looks like they added on to that bill. Instead of taking the lowest bids in some case, or they didn't go with the lowest bid, and it looks like Canada ended up paying more for supplies. How often does that happen in our government? Quite often.
A lot.
Democrat LaMonica McIver facing those decade in prison.
Good.
Accused Trump of weaponizing the DOJ. Wait. Hold up a second. Slow your roll. These are the same people that had no problem turning a misdemeanor into a felony for Donald Trump.
When it was past the statute of limitations as well.
Had no problem. But when you go to a federal prison and you are caught on video pushing.
Yes. Putting hands on a law enforcement.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yep.
It's nothing about weaponizing the federal government.
No,
there's right and wrong. Here we go again. There's right and there's wrong.
Yep. You assaulted him.
So she pled. Yeah, she pled not guilty, and she said she will fight this.
Okay.
You'll fight it just like you fought ICE.
Okay.
Word of advice: nobody is above the law. Nobody.
Amen.
John Albert Carrillo.
I hope that
Jr.
she said that at some point in the past, and they can find the video.
I wish she did. Yeah. John Albert Carrillo Jr., 36, pled guilty to federal sex abuse charges with a minor. Court records show that Carrillo used force to commit sex acts on a minor victim in February of this year. Carrillo, a member of the Mescalero Apache tribe, now faces 15 years in prison. Carrillo will have to register as a sex offender if he is released. But those are some of the charges that he is facing, and facing up to 15 years in prison. Monsoon rains flooding Roswell. City says they're prepared for more flooding. Not even a year after the deadly floods hit Roswell, we are suffering with another round of flash floods. Of course, Sunday, over the weekend, it started raining.
Yep. And
supposedly they have continued to get rain. So thoughts and prayers for our folks in Roswell. By the way, they're giving out sandbags and that type of stuff. So if you need to get in touch with the city of Roswell. You remember the Boulder terrorist suspect?
Yeah.
Guy that was spraying people and then had a makeshift flamethrower.
Yep.
He's got additional hate crimes, federal hate crimes that are added on to his already charges. And the suspect accused of the terrorist attack in Boulder, Colorado earlier this month was formally charged yesterday with additional charges. Mohammed Solomon has 12 hate crimes added to his already charges.
Wow.
Good.
Put him away for a long, long time. And yesterday we talked about a arson suspect. We got another arson suspect in Los Lunas. Man suspected of setting fire to two wildfires in Los Lunas over the weekend is now behind bars after turning himself into authorities. Jacob Lahair, 31 years old, was booked into the detention center, now facing charges of arson and criminal damage to property. Police say they are still investigating why he set the fires. By the way, the Desert Willow Complex fire burned 236 acres, destroyed 11 homes, and injured many firefighters. That's on this guy. That is so sad. And a man previously reported missing, found dead in Eddy County. Eddy County Sheriff's Office investigating the death of an individual who previously was reported missing on Friday, June 20th. And Jacob Cabazula, 32 years old, was found dead on Harkness Road and in Eddy County. And this whole case is under investigation. Chuck Schumer hospitalized. We talked about that. He was just didn't have enough. Usually having liquor in the system is not a problem, but he didn't have enough water, and his electrolytes, I guess, were down. I mean, you got to remember, he is, how old is he? 80. No, he's like 74.
70-something.
Yeah, 74. So stay hydrated. That's very, very, very important. We're going to talk about caffeine.
I'm in trouble.
Sorry.
It might
fault.
be your secret weapon against aging. Get to that.
Amen.
Coming up.
Coffee.
In just no, I'm serious. We'll get to that. And we'll hear from Jasmine Crockett and Representative Ramirez and the Thought for the Day morning show this morning being brought to you by Rig Outfitters in the home store, Broadmoor Mall, extensive collection of FR everything. Look, they've got gear. If you go on the work in the oil patch, they've got hard hats and safety gear and work boots, steel toe boots, FR jeans, coveralls, gloves. Looking for gloves and that type of thing, they've got all of that. They also have furniture, appliances, electronics, and they offer zero down financing. Check them out in the Broadmoor Mall, rigoutfitters.com, and they're right next to Scrub Outfitters, who has the largest selection of scrubs at 100 miles. Healing Hands, Dickies, Met Couture, Peaches. They've got scrubs, they've got compression socks, comfy shoes, and all the equipment to go to work in the medical field. Find them in the Broadmoor Mall. Also, they're on Facebook, and they're right next to Rig Outfitters. 701 KWMW, Maljamar, 105.1 FM, 93.5 KWES, Ruidoso, and KDAZ AM, 700 FM, 96.9 Albuquerque. Monica, and the text.
My homeowner insurance went up $300 because of high crime. They're just excuses to take more. I've never even had a claim.
What city are you in, out of curiosity?
Their phone number is 441. I'm going to guess somewhere in Lee County. Hobbs, maybe? Sam the Man says Pop is retired due to his stroke. The draft is done by lottery. The Spurs are about 2 years from being back on top. Go Spurs, go.
Hey, I used to be a big Spurs fan. Tim Duncan and David Robinson and all those guys. That was a good, wholesome team. Time for Pop to go.
Yeah. Big John says wait until New York has government-run grocery stores, and those people have to stand in line for a loaf of bread. Cole Hanlon said B, it may eventually be known as the greatest strike in history, but as of now, the greatest was when we hit Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan to end the war. Did I say that right?
No.
Nagasaki?
Nagasaki.
Saki. Saki.
Say it again.
Oh, sake shots.
Nagasaki.
Nagasaki. Hiroshima. Nagasaki. Can I say Nagasaki?
No.
Suki sounds better.
It's completely different.
I don't know
word.
if you.
That's a completely different
maybe
word
this
in
is
Japanese.
Inappropriate to
really?
say.
Nagasaki.
Maybe this is inappropriate to say. Have you seen Japan mess with us since then?
No.
They're one of our big allies now.
Yeah. See the way things change?
We've got one more. And good morning, fellas. Good morning, Monica. So what the heck did Joe Rogan do to the Liver King? Who is the Liver King?
That guy's looking
I got
bad.
that.
Really?
I got that in
You
the
got
next
that?
hour. Me and
All right.
Blake were talking about that off air.
Yeah.
The dude looks bad. I don't know if he's methed up or what, but his face is very drawn. He doesn't even look like the liver king anymore.
Oh, well, he's got liver disease.
Monica, I'll explain who the liver king is coming up in just a second. All right, Jasmine Crockett. So there was a hearing on immigration yesterday. Here's what Jasmine Crockett had to say about you MAGA people.
People are xenophobic because when you start to decide that just because somebody came from another country, they are automatically some kind of criminal, that does sound kind of xenophobic to me, because you are using a paintbrush to paint an entire group of people where the vast majority of them are coming here because they are actually seeking a better life.
Better life does not fall into the criteria for amnesty.
Does she know what xenophobia is? Yeah. It's not based on country of origin.
She's talking about the Tren Agua gang members, that not everybody that comes from Venezuela are criminals. But coming to America for a better life is not criteria to seek amnesty. No. Now, it's just not. War-torn country, yes. Violent country. But like I said, America's violent rate has gone up over the last 50 years. I don't know if America, I did this before. I looked at the criminal stats in other countries in America, and our stats were much higher. Right. So Monica, third world country, Philippines. Mm-hmm. Who's more violent per capita? Murders.
America.
Philippines or America?
America.
Who's more violent, America or Mexico?
Ew, that's a tough one.
America.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm gonna pull that up during the break again. I'll get to that. And then you had Representative Ramirez. She was like, the Tren de Agua. It's like the dog whistle now. Oh, she was very triggered. Come on.
It's about Tren de Agua. This is about continuing to equip Trump with tools to execute his anti-immigrant agenda. That's unfortunately what this bill is actually going to do. Tren de Agua has become a dog whistle to justify every racist, xenophobic action this administration wants to take, particularly against Latino men.
So xenophobia is their word of the day, apparently.
Yeah, evidently. They
need to go look it up in a dictionary.
Sure.
All right. Do you know Donald Trump is married to an immigrant?
Yes. A legal immigrant.
Correct.
But Donald Trump is married to an immigrant. So why would he have hate? Are you saying he hates his wife too? I'm just asking. Just crazy for you to think that he hates migrants. It's not about hate. It's what's good for America. And it's time for us to, the whole idea of putting America first.
It's not like
putting us first.
It's not like we stopped everyone from immigrating to this country. We still have hundreds, maybe thousands of people immigrating here every day.
Yep.
We give out the most work visas in the world. I mean, no other country is even close. Nobody. Over 1 million a year. I think it was up to 1.3 million work visas per year. Number 2 on that list is Germany. And they're not even, I don't think they're even up to 750,000. So, but we just can't take everybody. And we damn sure don't want the bad folks. Right. Sorry if that offends anybody. All right. Do you like caffeine?
Yes.
Caffeine helps yeast cells live longer, especially if you're under stress. Benefits depend on specific proteins and the pathway. but they are saying that caffeine can lead to a longer life. But it's a secret weapon against aging.
Hey, I'll take
As
that.
I finish
As I
off
sip
the
my
Red
coffee.
Bull. Yeah, there you go.
My second cup of
That's
coffee.
your second cup?
It's empty now.
So, during the break, I'm going to look at the crime stats, and I'll come back and get to that. All right, AOC talking about 2028 run, especially after Zoran Mawandawi beat Andrew Cuomo. That set her off, and she thinks that there's broaden to the horizons. Unbelievable. But there's a problem with AOC. I don't know if you heard about AOC. She's not who she says she is.
No, she's not.
right.
That's right.
She's not who she says. So I watched a little bit of Getfield yesterday. Listen to this, because they got into it. She wasn't raised in the
Had
Bronx.
anybody insult you that badly?
I mean, he went down the whole list.
Yes.
I mean, he didn't even have that much insult for AOC because he wanted to get in all the other ones, too.
Yes.
And then he wanted to get in his cognitive test. So,
Which he passed 100%.
Exactly. He did great. Like nobody's ever seen before.
Yes.
But, but yeah, AOC, I mean, she's been annoying this past week. She tweeted out, first of all, with her thing about the Bronx, she was trying to tease some guy from Queens. And she said, hey, I'm a Bronx girl. You know, we eat you guys from Queens for lunch. And I'm like, does she even know her district is in Queens? She represents Queens. Does she know that? Plus, she's not really from the Bronx. She's from Westchester County. She grew up in basically like a very suburban town.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I think Trump's great and AOC stinks. I guess that's the point.
So, and Emily, I'll just keep this.
And Westchester County is a predominantly white county.
Yes.
So
And
congratulations,
it's not like,
AOC.
It's not like it's a posh county. It's a middle class, working class area.
Yeah.
But still, she's not a Bronx girl.
Correct.
She only lived there till
she's
she was
not.
5.
She's not as ghetto as she's portraying.
No.
Well,
she
learned that
is
when
not.
she moved back to be a bartender.
Yeah, maybe. All right, let me get to the thought for the day. We'll check the weather, then we'll take our break. Thought for the day this morning being brought to you by Wakefield Oil. They've got 40 years of experience delivering high-quality products, excellent service, and look, they're dependable. Boom or bust, they are there for you. Serving Southeast New Mexico and parts of West Texas. If you need gas, diesel, interstate batteries, they deliver. Go to the website, wakefieldoil.com or 575-622-4160. The name again, Wakefield Oil, in memory of Mr. Wendell Wakefield. Thought for the day is stupid people are like glow sticks. I want to snap them and shake them until the light comes on. Just like that. Just like that. All right, let me check the weather, then we'll take our break because we are not on time. I didn't want to say the other thing but I'll get to there. I'll get to that one because I'm sure I'm going to say it again coming up in a second. All right, 12 minutes after the hour, 7 morning show this morning being brought to you by our buddies at A Custom Construction and Roofing and insurance specialists, 30 years in the business. Dwayne Pennick is the guy. Look, he's got an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Get in touch with him. 575-318-9725 can take care of your roof, take care of all your construction projects. And he's got a crew of folks. They're good folks. They work hard, and they're ready to go to work for you. 575-318-9725, A Custom Construction and Roofing, warning you about those unlicensed out-of-town, contractors that roll into town, and when they're gone, the warranty is gone. All right, we got a chance of rain all day today. Flood watch in effect for southeast New Mexico. 90 for the high, maybe sunny in the morning. Rain this afternoon into tonight, and even tomorrow, a chance of rain. Looks like it's clearing up for southeast New Mexico, just in time for the weekend. And Ruidoso, flood watch in effect, 70% chance of rain, 74 for the high, 55 tonight, 20% chance of rain. That rain back in the forecast, 70% tomorrow, 50% on Saturday, even rain on Sunday. And in Albuquerque, we're talking about 92 and sunny throughout the day, 64 tonight, 93 tomorrow, and great weather just in time for the weekend. Taking a break, keeping you updated with everything going on. News this morning being brought to you by Fusion Medical Spa. And, of course, right now they're really spotlighting men's health. And they're offering $400 off the P-Shot. That eliminates ED issues, and $400 off the shockwave therapy that can increase blood flow in targeted areas of your body, relieve pain, and can also start the healing process. And if healing is what it's all about, look, they offer stem cell. Call and schedule a consultation today at 575-257-4SPA. And if you have thinning hair, they're offering a special right now on a procedure for thinning hair. So that's for men and women. And if you're suffering with acne, they have a treatment that you buy two, you get one free right now. And they're offering vitamin infusions and so much more. Call Dr. Rath today. His number 575-257-4SPA. Are in the river crossing in Ruidoso. Taking a break. We'll be right back. We're beyond the Breakfast Club.
MTD Radio News, I'm Blake Ovard. A teen has died after becoming involved in a crash with a semi in Lee County around 4:47 a.m. on Tuesday on Orla Road. Deputies arrived on scene to find a maroon 2016 GMC Sierra driven by 19-year-old Dominic Calderon, and a semi had crashed. During the investigation, deputies found the GMC Sierra was traveling northbound on Orla Road when it crashed with a semi that was exiting Elise Road to the east and was in the process of turning south onto Orla Road when the crash occurred. The GMC was lodged under the trailer and Calderon died on scene. New Mexico Department of Transportation is in the design phase for the Rio Felix Bridge on US 285 south of Roswell. The design will include the construction of a new support piers for additional lane capacity and structural support. Initial emergency repairs to reinforce the damage were completed earlier this year, which allowed the bridge to reopen one lane of traffic in each direction. During repairs, the need for additional work to restore and strengthen the bridge was identified, extending the project deadline. Design work is expected to be completed within the next 2 to 3 months. Once finalized, construction will begin, and it is estimated to take approximately 2 months to complete, weather permitting. And while Eddy County has been debating on if passengers should fly to Phoenix or Dallas, Lee County Commissioners and the Hobbs City Commission have signed memorandums of understanding that will provide air service to Love Field in Dallas from the Lee County Regional Airport 3 times a week. Flights offered by Dallas-based Jet Suite X Airlines will be on Monday, Friday, and Sunday, with ticket prices starting around $159 one way. And Roswell native Casey Conley has been formally sworn in as the Deputy Chief of Staff for the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Office of Congressional Relations in Washington, D.C., where he will help lead the agency's legislative strategies and engagement with Capitol Hill. Conley has worked as Yvette Harrell's campaign manager and the City of Roswell's Administrative Chief of Staff before stepping into his new federal position. And that's the way it is. I'm Blake Ovard. This is MTD Radio News.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles for you, right here in America. And this summer, we're committed to keeping our lineup affordable and free from new tariffs. That's why we've lowered MSRP on our best-selling Rogue and Pathfinder. So you can get the car you want, at the price you want, knowing Nissan is here for you. Hurry into your local Nissan dealer today to save big during the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on Rogue or Pathfinder. For a limited time until supplies last, assembled with U.S. and imported parts. Available on 2025 Nissan Rogue or 2025 Nissan Pathfinder from new dealer stock. Example, 0% APR financing for 60 months at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary, subject to NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. N7725.
In need of a tow?
those don't have to be dirty words. At Lee County Roadside, they have been offering friendly and knowledgeable service for 20 years. From light to heavy duty, there's nothing they can't tow. And with 24-hour availability, there's no time they can't tow it. Don't make a bad day worse by choosing the wrong tow company. Lee County Roadside, the good guys to call in a bad situation. For 24-hour service, call 575-392-3223 or locate them at 7401 North Del Paso, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Like Lee County Roadside on Facebook and follow them on Instagram.
Hey, man, turn that down. Where's my keys?
Hey, what's the rush?
I'm headed to the JC to sign up for some classes.
What's the hurry? We barely graduated.
I heard classes are filling up.
So what, you're gonna be a scientist or something?
Man, I could be a welder, police officer, barber, or maybe even a nurse. They make bank.
Yeah, right.
They even have audio and video classes for you.
Really? Hold up. Let me get my keys and I'll drive.
Just roll on out to New Mexico Junior College and register at nmjc.edu today.
Registration ends August 15th.
Every year, thousands of nursing home and assisted living residents face neglect and mistreatment. But as an ombudsman, you can be a voice for those who often go unheard. And we're looking for volunteers. Ombudsmen advocate for residents' rights and ensure quality care. It's an incredibly fulfilling experience. I know because I am one. Whether you're retired or just starting your career, your dedication and compassion will make a significant impact. Learn about volunteering as an ombudsman today at aging.nm.gov/volunteer. Sponsored by this station and the NMBA.
Brighton Pediatric Therapy, located at 320 North Turner Street in Hobbs, is a full-service occupational therapy clinic that helps children of all ages. Located inside the Zia Chiropractic building, they specialize in helping children develop the skills they need to grow, play, learn, and thrive for a brighter future. They accept most major health plans, and right now, there is no waiting list to get started. Call them today at 575-964-5109. Brighton Pediatric Therapy, providing your child better skills today for a brighter future tomorrow.
Big June savings and a produce extravaganza this week at Bob's Fruitway. Get Washington red cherries $2.99 a pound, yellow peaches or nectarines $2.99 a pound, jalapeno peppers 99 cents a pound, and golden pineapple $2.99 each. Honey mangoes 2 for $1, seedless watermelons $5.99 each. Get a 3-pound bag of yellow onions for 99 cents and russet potatoes 5-pound bag for $1.99, and Haas avocados $1.99 for the 5-count. Big June savings and more than 150 big value items on special this week at Bob's Fruitway, where they're having a produce extravaganza at 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Now, back to the show.
In the Breakfast Club, being powered by Permian Ford, with the goal of being your #1 Ford dealer in New Mexico and West Texas.
The In the Breakfast Club, as much a part of waking up as Folgers in your house. Call now, 877-396-W105. Call now.
You are the coolest person that's ever talked to me.
Feels more real than the real world.
The Real Deal.
This is not headline news. Jeff Bezos had to change one of his wedding venues due to protesters. Just like he had to change the woman he's married to due to cheating on his first wife. Kim Kardashian has been cast in the live-action Bratz doll movie. To make her look more like a plastic doll, makeup artists will have to do absolutely nothing. A Russian billionaire claims he fathered over 100 children. His name is Nikolai Cannon. The Diddy trial is nearing its conclusion. Pretty soon, Johnson's baby oil will have to start paying for advertising again. And Arnold Schwarzenegger says he was once in a feud with Sylvester Stallone. The loser was the English language. This is not headline news.
All right, 722, we are and the Breakfast Club Morning Show this morning being brought to you by Twin Wells Fuel Station. If you're driving on 128 this morning and you're between Jowl and Carlsbad, you need some fuel, exit on Buck Jackson Road. Go down 2.75 miles, open to the public, and fill her up today. They've got unleaded, diesel, DEF value, red diesel, green diesel. They've got everything you need, and they accept your credit cards, debit cards, and fleet cards. Be safe on the road from the Twin Wells Fuel Station. Brand new poll out there. More than 2,000 teachers nationwide find 6 in 10 educators are using AI to grade papers. which is funny because 10 out of 10 papers are written
That's
with
right.
AI nowadays.
I think that's what they're checking against, honestly. It's to see if AI recognizes itself.
That's kind of funny because you've got AI now that won't turn itself off. Is it really going to recognize itself?
You know what gets me? You know what gets me is when you're like scrolling on Facebook and you see like this thoughtful post like that's beautifully written, and you're like, hold up, who are you? Because you've never written this well.
Wait, why are you talking about my post like that?
And I almost want to call people out and be like, listen, if you don't think that we recognize you had AI write this for you, you're stupid. But I let it be. I'm like, whatever.
So teachers even admit to using AI to write lesson plans. And at this point, we might have to replace teachers with robots. And that way, the football team, maybe we'll have football team made up partly of robots in the near future. Who knows?
Sure. What's fair is fair, right?
Yeah. New study links drinking alcohol to health issues later in life, such as cognitive decline, dementia. So do you think that alcohol is a direct link to cognitive issues later on?
It can be.
I don't know.
I mean, it does. It is proven to destroy brain cells.
Yeah. So
more so than marijuana. Yeah, people
So
always
how
say
much did,
always say that marijuana destroys brain cells. Well, alcohol, beer, etc., destroys
how much
more
did
brain
Joe
cells.
Biden drink back in the day?
Like a fish.
Oh, okay. Season 4 of The Bear has returned to Hulu this week. Never heard of that one. And if you notice Taylor Darden on The Pit, you might want to know that that's Bryan Cranston's daughter. And he says he's, of course, very proud. You know, Bryan Cranston is. Cranston.
Malcolm in the Middle. Breaking Bad.
Is that who he is?
Yeah, that's the dad on.
I thought that was a guy from the methamphetamine.
I think that's just the middle. There was two different shows, and they were almost the same. And one was called Malcolm in the Middle.
No.
One was called
I'm
The
talking
Middle.
about Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, Breaking Bad.
That same guy?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. So the Breaking Bad
He plays Walter
scientist
White.
guy is the dad on Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
Shut your face.
He was in Godzilla. Yeah.
I watched one episode of Breaking Bad. The very first one.
The very best episode.
The
The very best episode of Breaking Bad, my opinion, is when he's got the lab and there's a fly in there. Okay. And the whole episode is him trying to kill this fly.
No, seriously. I was like, this is bad for me. I feel like I would have wanted to start smoking meth. So I had to turn it off. No, a true story.
Yeah, I mean, no, I watched the whole series and Better Call Saul and the whole works. Can you believe it? Always Sunny in Philadelphia celebrating 20th anniversary this coming summer. I don't even know what that is, but I'm acting like I do.
It's a TV show. It's always Sunny in Philadelphia. Danny DeVito was on it.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
Wow.
Suspect killed by the officer involved in that shooting in Lubbock at Texas Tech has been identified. And they say 63-year-old Rhino Semboli. According to the press release from Texas Tech Police, Semboli was from Ohio but had connections in Florida and in Texas. He was pronounced dead at the scene at Gate 3 of AT&T Stadium. When they approached, he opened fire on them. And Semboli was charged with attempted murder and burglary in Daytona Beach recently. In this case, he is accused of shooting at someone he didn't know outside of a home. And so then when police showed up, he finally dropped the weapon. Well, guess what? He did not drop the weapon at Texas Tech. In court, Semboli's wife said her husband was a disabled veteran who suffered from PTSD and may have had a medical episode. So new reports show the public records did not show the trial's verdict in Valdosta County, Florida. So it did not show the records. So that was back in 2020. But when you open fire at police, you can count on one thing. They are going to return fire. No doubt. They're going to return fire.
Yeah, they will.
John Kennedy from Louisiana suggesting Wednesday that Office Management and Budget Director Russell Voigt was using marijuana if he thought Democrat Senator Chuck Schumer from New York would allow votes on the budget measure. He was like, it's not going to happen. And let me give you another thing. Chuck Schumer is not going to budge on the budget. It is not going to happen. So in the Senate, this big, beautiful bill, let's just say all Republicans vote in favor of it.
Okay. Then
so all Republicans vote in favor.
Then it passes.
All Democrats vote against.
It passes.
That means that it passes.
Yes.
But you know there's going to be 2 Republicans that vote against it.
Probably.
At least 2 that vote against it. So this thing, and they're supposed to, what's today's date? 26?
Yep.
They're running out of time. They got 7 days to pass this thing. That's what they said before July 4th.
Then let's get her done.
They better get it done. Talisman convicted of a double homicide. So this guy was convicted Wednesday of 2 counts of second-degree murder in a retaliation to killing of 2 members of the Taos Puebla. 2 men, Anthony and Buck Romero, were both members of the Taos Puebla and were reported missing back on May 30th of 2019. Joshua Gonzalez, a non-Puebla member, confessed to those murders and provided the details on those murders and has been charged with first-degree murder. A married Florida math teacher is 32 years old. You ready for this?
I think I know what you're going to say.
Accused of having sex with a student in the classroom at lunchtime.
Yep.
There's no need to go to the cafeteria. Just come back to the room. Sarah Jackus was listed as a math teacher at Corner Lake Middle School, part of Orange County, and that is the Orlando metro area, was arrested Monday and now faces the judge. Now, 16-year-old boy began having sex with Jackus when he was 14 years of age. So, allegations that the encounter took place almost a year and a half. Remember the story we had about the teacher yesterday that the 13-year-old impregnated her, and she had the kid moved in and living at her house, and she began having sex with him at the age of 11. 11. All right, the impeachment. Very sick. Impeachment. How did our reps vote on the impeachment?
Well, you know how they
voted. It failed. So I'm going to give you the answer to that coming up next. But who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? NATO chief praised Donald Trump yesterday. He got NATO to do something they never did before. Listen to what he had to say.
One ally, the United States, carried too much of the burden of that commitment. And that changes today. President Trump, dear Donald, you made this change possible. Your leadership on this has already produced $1 trillion in extra spending from European allies since 2016. And the decisions today will produce trillions more for our common defense to make us stronger and fairer by equalizing spending between America and America's allies.
I got to say, that woman, prime minister from Italy, she always looks like she's mad. She's got this sour look on her face. The whole time he was reading that, she's over there and got the sour look on her face. You know why? Because she's not mommy. Trump is the daddy.
It's from Sky News. Mark Rutte, the NATO chief, who is your friend, he called you daddy earlier. Do you regard your NATO allies as kind of children?
No, he likes me. I think he likes me. If he doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll come back and I'll hit him hard, okay? No? He did it very affectionate. Daddy, you're my daddy.
Do you regard your NATO allies, though, as kind of like children, and they're obviously listening to you and they're spending more, and you're obviously appreciative of that, but do you hope that actually they're going to be able to defend themselves, defend Europe on their own without...
I think they need help a little bit at the beginning. And
so Marco Rubio, the best part of that video,
Yes.
Marco
Laughing.
Rubio is giggling.
Yes.
Giggling. And if you didn't hear if you didn't hear the quote about the daddy, listen to here we go. NATO chief, here's what he said.
fighting each other. They've had it. They've had a big fight, like two kids in a schoolyard. You know, they fight like hell. You can't stop them. Let them fight for about 2-3 minutes. Then it's easier to stop them.
And then daddy has to sometimes use strong language.
You have to use strong language. Every once in a while, you have
Oh, daddy. Daddy has to be strong.
Sometimes use strong language.
You have to use strong language.
Oh, daddy.
Strong language. Then daddy has to sometimes use strong language.
Yeah, daddy had to be very, very strong.
I just love it how you can hear the chuckling in the background.
Yeah. So.
Oh gosh.
Daddy was
I've
very,
always
very,
referred
very.
to him as T Daddy. I heard one of my cousins call him that, and I thought it was clever because I'm like, he acts like a dad. And so to hear them actually call him that, I'm like, this is classic.
Like I said, that's a term of endearment for most of the time.
Right.
Most of the time. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they
All right,
wouldn't,
we'll check.
wouldn't have called Biden that.
No, they would have called him Sleepy Joe. Doesn't matter if he was sleeping or not. Hey, he'll be wandering off. Remember last year when he was wandering off?
Yes, they had to go get him.
Where the hell's he gone?
Yeah, that Italian woman who with a sour look on her face is the one that went and got him.
Well,
and the
she
French
liked
president.
Joe.
Yeah.
She liked Joe because they could push him around. Him and her and Macron liked him because they could push Joe around.
Look,
he was
Joe.
like a lost puppy.
Look, Joe, I brought you some Jell-O. It's the red flavor, just like you like.
Ice cream. Oh, ice cream.
And then he called her mommy.
Yeah. Morning show this morning being brought to you by Seminole Siding and Construction, a trusted name across southeast New Mexico. Exceptional construction and siding services. Look, they do residential services, but they also do commercial and industrial metal buildings. And maybe you're fed up. Maybe you're like, I'm done with this. Hail 18 times in 1 year. I'm done with it. I'm gonna call Seminole Siding and get them to erect a carport for me. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? That way I'll have to deal with the insurance companies. I'm done with them. Done with the hail. Oh, hell yeah. I'm going to call them today. Get in touch with them. Look, if you still have hail damage to your siding or to your roof, or maybe they busted up some of your windows, give them a call, 575-391-1430. They can take care of your metal roof, shingle roof, your siding, your windows, your doors, seamless gutters. They do it all. Go to the website, SeminoleSidingAndConstruction.com, 575-391-1430. All right, we'll get to the text up next. How did our representatives vote on the impeachment?
Like spoiled children who were upset.
So here's who you had. You had, of course, Teresa Leger Fernandez.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Gabe, open boarded Vasquez.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Melanie. I am up here in the northern part of the state, but I am a spoiled white woman who Stansbury.
Yeah,
I think I covered them all.
Yeah,
And so how did they vote?
Cultural appropriation, Mr.
Yes,
Open
there you
Borders,
go. Yeah,
and Miss
yeah,
Poor
yeah.
Little Rich Girl.
Yeah.
Now
So,
she had a chart the other day about a Quinnipiac poll that equaled 110%, trying to say Donald Trump wasn't.
See?
Yeah.
See the way that works?
Yeah.
See the way it works?
Anyway.
But all three of them voted to impeach Donald Trump.
Of course they did. They don't like
All
America.
No, I mean, and look, what's the chances of getting him removed from office?
Zero.
It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. All right, Minnesota, keep it classy. The Department of Justice has filed a complaint challenging laws in Minnesota that will provide free and reduced in-state tuition to illegal aliens, claiming that it was unconstitutional. Under federal law, higher education institutions are prohibited from providing benefits to illegal aliens and not offering it to U.S. citizens. And that's what Minnesota is doing. Yes, you heard me right. The illegal aliens get the benefits, the citizens do not. So Pam Bondi has filed the paperwork, a complaint challenging just that. We'll see what Tim Walz has to say. And Gavin Newsom, in case you missed this yesterday, Gavin Newsom ripped for mocking Secretary Linda McMahon. Yeah, Linda McMahon is very upset that trans athletes in California, especially the one that plays at San Jose State, the volleyball player. And so Gavin Newsom posted up a video of Linda McMahon. Of course, her family owned the WWE.
Right.
And in a segment, she picked up a wrestler and slammed him. And Gavin Newsom posted a meme that said, "Oh, here's one trans wrestler." Not real nice. Not real nice. Where do you think we'll find these Iranian sleeper cells plotting harm on America?
That's a good question.
Look for any mosque in America. That anywhere there's a mosque, there's a chance there's a good sleeper cell there.
So would it be in like the bigger cities?
It doesn't. No, even the smaller ones. If there is a mosque in a town, there is a high probability there is a sleeper cell in that town.
So the problem with this is that molding the mushy minds of young folks. According to Homeland Security, they are worried about campuses. All the protests, all these young folks that came out. What's it called? The thing that goes around the neck?
Noose?
No. You know what I'm talking about. It's like a shawl that kind of goes around the neck.
Oh, and over their head? That one?
Yeah, and over their heads. Anyway, they were all wearing that in protests for Hamas. And they say that some sleeper cells, maybe domestic attacks, that could be people that were turned into Muslim terrorists right here at our universities. And then we still have to worry about the 1,500 Iranians that Joe Biden allowed into the country. All right, we're going to talk about Joe Biden's work husband. We'll get to that. Let me go taking out trash, being brought to you by Trash Eaters, trash-eaters.com, 575-408-1719. Call Kayleen this morning. If you need residential pickup, they offer residential pickup. They've got the 96-gallon poly cart, 2 and 4 yard metal dumpsters for the commercial clients, and they have the roll-off containers. Veteran-owned and operated, locally owned and operated, good people. Go to the website, trash-eaters.com, or call Kayleen, 575-408-1719. I don't know if you saw the story of the fan that was banned indefinitely after making derogatory comments about the Diamondback Stars' late mother.
I did. It brought him to tears.
Yeah, and look,
on the field.
But I mean, his mother passed away in 2017.
Yeah, but I understand criticizing folks, but that guy.
Yeah,
went way
I think
far.
that takes it. Anyway, this guy has been banned from every baseball stadium for the rest of his life. 22-year-old fan admitted to taunting the player, and he's gone. He is completely out of there. So, Cattell Morte, his mother passed away in 2017 in the Dominican Republic. She died in a car crash.
Yes.
So this guy is taunting him about his dead mother.
Yes.
Come on. I mean, how low can you go? I believe in taunting and talking trash, but I'm not going to give somebody crap about their dead mother. This guy was distraught. He was crying on the field. And you know, one thing that was kind of refreshing is that you saw individuals from the other team.
Yep.
The White Sox of Chicago, which is surprising, you know, for the White Sox.
The Pope's team.
Well, anybody from Chicago. But
the
they
Pope's
went
team.
over there. Yeah. And they went over there and, you know, and embraced him and said they were sorry for their fans.
Yeah.
But what an a-hole.
Yeah. It's one thing
So,
to say to
sorry.
somebody, oh, what, you got a hole in your glove? You can't throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just regular
Look,
taunting.
Back in the day when Charles Barkley was playing at Auburn University, he was overweight playing. And we would go to the game early and bring pizza and eat pizza in front of him and stuff. And, hey, Charles, you want some pizza? I mean, that's funny.
Sure.
That's funny. This is just morbid. I'm taking out the trash. Being brought to you by Trash Eaters. You sick son of a gun.
So, but it
You
doesn't
guys are
say like
bad.
what he was telling him, like how he was
No.
taunting him. Like
It was about his dead mother.
Yeah, that's all it says.
But it
About
was
his dead
whatever he said was enough
to bring
that guy to tears on the field.
That's
Yeah, it was sad. That's pretty sad. That is pretty sad. All right, Joe Biden's work husband runs for cover as privilege protection starts to crumble. Anthony Burnell, former advisor to the former First Lady, he was the work husband, is refusing to appear before the House Oversight Committee to answer the questions about the auto pen and about Joe Biden's mental decline.
Yeah,
James Comer from Kentucky said that in a press release that Burnell has refused to appear on June 26th.
Isn't that
for
contempt
a
of Congress?
Interview. Well, I would think that is contempt of Congress, and this is another step in the Biden cover-ups, and I'm starting to wonder about these pardons.
Yeah, all of them should be void. Again, I don't care if Joe Biden directed the auto pen. An auto pen should never be able to be used on an official document.
So Comer said the American people deserve answers and accountability, and the Oversight Committee will not tolerate obstruction. Chairman added that Burnell does not wish to come in on his own. We will subpoena him to make his way in to the hearing. By the way, other advisors were heard yesterday, and there were several, like the young lady you talked about earlier, Blake, that said that, the people that were working for Biden would send her the information, and she would be the one that actually used the auto pen at their direction, correct?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So it was not Joe Biden. Somebody was giving her that information. None of this is good. None of this is good. It's not good for the country at all. But the work husband running for his life now. Unbelievable. Bystander injured in a shootout in Albuquerque is now suing the suspect and law enforcement. Yeah. So a typical trip to the local barbecue joint ended up with a bystander getting caught in the crossfire between police and the suspect. Now the bystander is suing the man and the officers, which means he's suing the city of Albuquerque. Look, I get it. It was probably chaotic, at Rudy's Barbecue right there on Carlisle Boulevard back in June of 2023. According to court documents, a man had a drug-induced mental health crisis. So you mean he went off? Police say he started shooting at two bystanders, and when police got there, they returned fire, and one of the individuals, the bystanders, was injured. One of those injured is suing the accused shooter and then suing Desert Wolf Security and suing Albuquerque Police Department. And New Mexico State Police. I mean, this guy is not cutting anybody any slack. He said police shot wildly and recklessly. Suit also claims that prior to the shooting that, that state police was actually there at Rudy's. And so, look, I get it. You're injured. But is it really the police's fault?
Well, according to Democrats in this state, it is, because they want to take away the qualified immunity.
I mean, somebody
they
is
don't want the
shooting
police
at
to
you.
be able to do their job.
Right.
Yeah. Somebody is shooting at you, and you don't want police to fire back?
No, they don't. They don't want the police to do their job.
Well, that's crazy. That is crazy. All right, New Mexicans who are looking for caregivers now have access to a helpline that will connect people with health and human resources. Yeah. Now, I don't need that, but there are people that are in need of caregivers. Somebody in their family needs a caregiver. So this is part of the expansion of 211. So all you got to do is dial 2211. Yeah. All right, 751 morning show this morning being brought to you by Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, 1105 East 2nd in Roswell, homegrown and proud of it, certified Purina dealer for all your animals. They also have everything you'll need, all the supplies if you're living on a farm or a ranch. They got looking good work clothes and looking good dress clothes, Western clothes. Yep. 1105 East 2nd in Roswell, online at roswelllivestock.com. Also in Capitan at the Lincoln County Mercantile. Monica and the Tex. We're going to get to things that happened on this date in history coming up in a sec.
All right. So I first want to say a very special happy birthday to a little boy. Well, he's not a little boy anymore. He's a teenager. Avian, Christina, and Juan, your parents, have wished you a very happy 13th birthday. He's a little conservative in the making. So you guys
amen.
Awesome.
Happy birthday.
All right.
God bless.
I love you, mijo. Have a wonderful 13th birthday.
Being raised right.
Absolutely. Guys, I'll be darned if I take criticism or advice from a freaking hood rat like Jasmine Crockett, said John from Eunice. Good morning as well. Blake, could you comment on the latest MLG mishaps I sent you? Someone.
Well, it was friending a fake account. It was following a fake account for a different governor that obviously was not real.
Gotcha.
And then she posted a thing up about the Western Governors meeting as well. So she was handing the gavel to the next one, and they went from there.
And part of the big, beautiful bill is selling 3 million acres of federal land out west. Don't pass it, says a texter. If Daddy would spank her, it would change her disposition, said this texter. PT's loyal customer says, sour. A sour. I'm not going to say that.
Wait. Who? What are we looking at? So it looks like a sourpuss, but she doesn't mess around. A Muslim imam that had been living in Italy for 30 years called for violence against non-Muslims and infidels, and she had his evil butt deported the next day.
Yeah, that is one word I don't care for. So if there's an attack in the U.S., you guys are really going to believe it was Iran? Well, maybe. And you have to know what's behind your target when shooting. I think it was careless, said Adam from Artesia, as far as that shooting at Rudy's in Albuquerque. I've been traveling a lot lately, and the farther you get away from here, the cheaper gas is. How come we make it here? When is one of our constituents going to stand up and introduce a bill that makes it more affordable for us?
I'm going to be honest. I've been saying that for a number of years.
Long time. That's it for the text line.
Yeah, I mean, a long time. Don't understand it. All right, it looks like a family of the teen killed by the Otero County deputy. They filed that lawsuit. So the family of the teen shot by the deputy during a welfare check a year ago has filed a wrongful death lawsuit. Otero County Sheriff's Office, Jacob Diaz Austin, killed 17-year-old Elijah Hatley as he was walking on the highway near Mescalero. Dashcam video caught the whole thing. The teen tossed a BB gun to the side before the deputy opened fire.
Immediately. I mean, they're going to win this.
The family filed that lawsuit, and Diaz, by the way, Diaz Austin, scheduled to go to trial on first-degree murder. The police officer, the sheriff's deputy in this case, going to trial for first-degree murder. And if you go back and watch that video, it is scary. The way and how many times did he shoot him?
A lot.
Yeah, I mean, it was more than 3 times. I will say that.
Yes.
I don't remember how many, but it was more than 3. All right, the Liver King. Liver King at one time had millions of followers on social media. You know, he was a guy that said, I work out and all I eat is raw meat and, liver and all kind of other stuff. Well, that was debunked because it was proven that he was taking, steroids and all kind of other stuff. But he kind of went off the rails and was arrested in Austin after threatening Joe Rogan. And it does not list Joe Rogan by name, but you can see the messages that he sent Joe Rogan, and he threatened Joe Rogan while holding 2 guns up. Now, I don't know what his beef is with Joe Rogan, but, he told Joe Rogan, I'm picking a fight with you. Shame on you. I'm going to make you pay. I'm going to fight you. I'm not going to stop. Well, that seems like a threat to me. And he doesn't look healthy. When you look at him, his face is all drawn, and I'm hoping he has not taken getting off of steroids to getting on methamphetamine or something worse. So, looks like the judge ordered the psychiatric evaluation. Nobody drives to Austin. Where did this guy live? The Liver King. It's like South Dakota nobody goes to Austin and decides that they are going to meet up with Joe Rogan. Number one, Joe Rogan is a first-degree black belt. You know, I get it. Liver King is a big dude.
Yeah. But you got it.
I think Joe Rogan can handle himself.
Well, Joe Rogan is not a big guy. I mean, he is muscular and he stays in shape, but he's a lot shorter than that guy. But the other thing is,
yeah, no doubt.
You know, his studios, it's not like they're on 6th Street and have a big sign that says Joe Rogan Studio.
No. Yeah. Oh, he's got a ranch in Texas. I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's got a ranch in Texas.
Oh, well, now we got some texters. Monica, you want to say what they're talking about?
Absolutely. Big Trucker C said Joe Rogan was one of the first ones to come out and say that he calls BS on him not taking steroids. And Patriot Larry said Joe's the one who called him out on it. Long Hair says Joe Rogan called him out on his show and made him admit he was on roids and not naturally built like he claims. Allah. Listen, the other day, it's obvious.
Oh, he lives in
when
Austin
somebody's
too.
on roids.
He lives in the Austin area too, on a ranch that's worth about $4 million. And he made all this money on social media.
Oh yeah,
Crazy.
There's money there. Patriot Larry said he's only 5'7". See, I thought that dude was like 6'3".
No. I don't think he's that big.
The Liver King?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, if he really is only that tall, yeah, then that would be an interesting fight. And Joe should organize it. I mean, he's trained. He's an MMA fighter. Yeah, do it for charity. Now, that being said, you know that fight is going to be a fight that's going to be personal. And so, you know, if you're just going into it just for the fight and the other guy's got a personal grudge, you know, who knows what they're going to do, because people with personal grudges go off the rails.
I mean, look, the dude was cut, but he was on something. He was definitely taking steroids or something.
Well, again, if he's on a substance, you don't really know what he's going to do.
Right. His net worth is about $4 million, and he made most of his money on Instagram and TikTok, and selling supplements, Liver King supplements.
Roids.
So, you want some roids? Yeah. No, I'm eating raw. All I'm eating. Sure. But yeah, I mean, you look at the guy. His face has completely changed. It's drawn. I'm just wondering if there's something else going on with him.
Well, knowing that he's a lot smaller than I thought he was, yeah, Joe could probably take him.
Joe Rogan would whoop his tail, said Tony in the Cap Shop.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, people always say, well, Joe didn't really ever fight all that much because he had other stuff going on. The fact is he's a trained MMA fighter. And the fact is he stays in shape and he still spars and he still does all that stuff. So I think he's okay. You know, these young...
He's 5'7". He's 5'7". Liver King is 5'7", 186 pounds.
Oh, wow. And see, all these young ones always want to think, oh, you guys in your 50s, you're old. Yeah. Joe Rogan's a real good example of 50s ain't what they used to be.
That's right. That is exactly right.
You know, 50s, they keep saying 60 is the new 40, so I guess 50 is the new 30.
Well,
And all the you know, the young ones that are soft from living in mom's basement.
Yeah. How old do you feel, Kevin? Compared to what?
I feel good. I feel good. I mean, I've got, you know, I get up every morning with a purpose and ready to go. So Joe Rogan is 5'8".
Yeah.
And it doesn't give his weight.
He's my age. He's like 56, 57, somewhere.
But I mean, Joe Rogan benches like 330.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, his routine every day. There's a reason why he doesn't have an everyday podcast.
Sure.
It's because his days are still working out and doing other things that he does.
Yeah, Joe Rogan's about 200 pounds. 5'8", 200. So he's bigger than the Liver King.
Oh.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy.
That'd
Yeah,
be,
I mean,
he ought to try and put that together and see what
And
they
why
can come
is
up
his
with.
name Liver King?
Because he used to eat liver.
yeah, he used to say all he would eat was liver and that type of stuff.
Oh,
Except he was on
Yeah.
roids.
Yeah.
But he was on roids. Yeah, he was. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about deaths from heart attacks are down. What's killing us in America? What exactly is
Sugar.
killing us? You think it's sugar?
Yeah.
I'll give you the answer.
Okay.
You think it's diabetes?
No. I think that sugar, there's a lot of other complications besides diabetes that comes with it.
Do you think Fetterman ought to switch to being a Republican? I'm going to tell you about a brand new poll about his approval rating, and Democrats aren't approving of Fetterman anymore. He's kind of abandoned the party.
Yep.
And he really doesn't give a damn.
I think he's more independent.
I think he should be independent, probably. All right, let's get to things that happened on this date in history, because we have a slew of music birthdays today. It's being brought to you by 2A Tactical Firearms, indoor firing range, 236 East Navajo in Hobbs, veteran-owned and operated. Largest selection of firearms around, state-of-the-art indoor firing range. They even have the FBI training simulator. It's called the Milo. It's got over 1,000 different scenarios. You can pay by the month and use it like the gym. So you get a monthly membership, or you pay by the hour. Look, they have ammo in stock. They have the largest selection of optics and suppressors. They've got firearm accessories, safes, tactical gear. They're open 7 days a week. They finance firearms. Get in touch with them. 2atacticalrange.com, 236 East Navajo and Hobbs, proud sponsor of things that happen on this date in history.
It was way back in 1498 that the toothbrush was invented in China. Now, the bristles were actually stiff, coarse hairs taken from the back of a hog's neck and attached to handles made out of bone or bamboo. The first American patent on a toothbrush was by Wadsworth, and many American companies began to mass produce them after 1885. The toothbrush, as we know it today, wasn't even invented until 1938.
Wow.
Interesting. And in 1819, the bicycle was patented.
Nice.
On this day in 1870, the first section of Atlantic City's boardwalk opened to the public in New Jersey. And Parker Brothers asked them to hurry up with the rest of it so they could create Monopoly. If you don't know, that's what it's based around, is Atlantic City. In 1919, the first issue of New York Daily News was published and delivered to porches, bushes, and rooftops everywhere. Of course, the headline, new newspaper in town. On this day in 1934, President FDR signed the Federal Credit Union Act, which established credit unions. He said, quote, "You can take that to the bank." In 1960, he didn't. That's a joke. 1963, President Kennedy visited West Berlin and made his famous speech in which, Monica, he said, "Ich bin ein Berliner," calling himself a jelly donut.
Sure.
He thought he was saying "I'm a Berliner" in German.
Oh.
It's Germany's biggest pastry news since the Kaiser. In 1996, the Supreme Court ordered the Virginia Military Institute to admit women or forego state support. So 1996, VMI. Today is Beautician's Day, Forgiveness Day, National Chocolate Pudding Day, and National Barcode Day. Independence Day is a week from Friday. Kevin, I got a bunch of music news for you today.
Just a tad.
Singer and actress Ariana Grande turns 32 today. She is so wicked.
All right, enough. Enough.
I love that song.
Okay, Aubrey Plaza is 41. Now, those that don't know, she plays April on Parks and Rec.
Okay.
Jason Schwartzman Grand Budapest Hotel, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. He's 45 today. Derek Jeter, talking about roids, who spent his entire 20-year career with the Yankees, turns 51 today.
You know,
Baseball's synonymous with roids.
I looked up what he was worth yesterday, and surprisingly, I didn't think that he would be worth as little as he's worth. He's only worth like $30 million.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Country singer Gretchen Wilson hits 52 today. She's only here for the birthday party. She dropped out of school in the 9th grade and did it all the hard way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Sean Hayes from Will & Grace turns 55 today. Now, while we're in the neighborhood, the versatile Nick Offerman and Chris O'Donnell also celebrate double nickels today, turning 55. Colin Greenwood is 56, Kevin. Monica, do you know who he is?
No. I like that song, though.
He's a creep.
He is the Radiohead bassist.
Okay.
He's laying down that bass line. But speaking of singers, Harriet Wheeler is 62 today. Here's where the story ends.
Harriet Wheeler.
Kevin?
It was the Sundays?
Yes. Yes. Also a singer, Terry Nunn is 64.
Name the band.
Monica. Name the band. Real popular. Love scene from Top Gun. Berlin. You remember when I said JFK had his thing that said he was a Berliner?
Mm-hmm.
That was a hint.
Oh, Berlin.
Yeah. They have a couple of songs we can't play on the radio. Patty Smythe is 68 today.
Hold on.
She had a solo career, but that song came from when she was with a band. Name the band. Scandal. I'll give it to you.
Listen.
Someone who
once married to, once married to.
I have no idea.
That's an 80s
Bruce
thing.
Springsteen.
Yes, she was. This man plays a wicked game and turns 69 today.
These are asking me questions before my time.
Chris Isaac.
Okay.
It's not before your time.
Listen.
Look,
if
our old. So here's the
these
thing. We always
bands-
joke about this. My oldest son, at his wedding, they use that as their wedding song.
What?
I'm like, did you listen to the words
So
of that
I know
song?
the songs, but not the artists, not the music. I don't know the names of the bands, nor would I know facts
All right,
about them.
here you go. You're not going to know this one either. Mick Jones is 70 today. You may know the song.
Rock the Cash Bar.
Mm-hmm. The
To say Rock
Clash.
the Cash Bar.
The Clash. They also did London Calling. Should I Stay? Should I Go? Train in Vain. You know, all those.
Go now.
One last one for you today. Billy Davis Jr. is 87 today. He's a singer.
Well, maybe.
That is, of course, the Fifth Dimension. And Kevin, that's all I have today.
Let the sunshine in. Let the rain stop. God bless America. KWMW Malmore, 105.1 FM, 93.5 KWES. And you can find us at KDAZ AM 700 FM 96.9 in Albuquerque. All right, we're going to talk about heart attacks. They're down in America. Well, what's the cause of death? I mean, what's the leading cause of death? We're going to get to that coming up in just a second. I promise. Morning show this morning being brought to you by, we're running late, our sponsor, Yeah, I'm talking about Pop's Power Washing. 11 years, and Eric has never been late. Yeah, they can clean up your oil field equipment. They can clean up your spills. Hey, let them take care of your company fleet. Call Eric today at Pops. It's 575-704-0330. Pops Power Washing, 11 years, and Eric has never been late. I think he just sent us a text and said, y'all suck. 575-704-0330. Check him out today. We got to get to the national anthem and the pledge. Our large prayer still to come. We'll get you updated with news. It's 8:14. National anthem and the pledge being brought to you by Rebecca Long. She's got 40-plus years of experience in the business. She started when she was 19 and became an agent and started her business with Farmers Insurance. She can take care of all of your insurance. She knows exactly how to do this. She serves the entire state. Call her for a free quote today. 575-393-2661. Home, auto, life insurance, recreational insurance, commercial insurance. She can take care of all of your insurance. Call for a free quote today. 575-393-2661. Proud sponsor of the national anthem and the pledge.
Hi, I'm Landry from College Lane Elementary in Hobbs, New Mexico, and I will say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Large prayer this morning being brought to you by Judah Oil, reminding you God is always in control.
Today's verse of the day is Matthew 5:6. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled.
Hi, this is Felicia Bowen with Judah Oil. Please join me in our Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
All right, 17 after 8. Let's get you updated with all the news being brought to you by Ragsdale Law Firm, reminding you when an accident happens, usually happens when you least expect it. Could be running to the grocery store, quick trip, accident happens. Yeah, when it does happen, you need an attorney, somebody you can trust, somebody that's going to fight for you, somebody that's going to represent you. You need Luke Ragsdale and the Ragsdale Law Firm, specializing in car accidents, also personal injury, specializing in medical malpractice and oil field accidents, and based in Roswell, serve the entire state. Call them today for a free consultation. And don't forget, you never pay until you win your case. Call Luke Ragsdale, 575-208-5300. He's the guy that you can trust, and you can find him at the RagsdaleLawFirm.com. We're coming right back, 18 after 8. We're beyond the Breakfast Club.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth defending the strikes in Iran in defending against the initial leaked report that the bombs didn't destroy Iran's nuclear capabilities. Also discussing,
because of decisive military action, President Trump created the conditions to end the war, decimating, choose your word, obliterating, destroying Iran's nuclear capabilities.
Also discussing,
he said NATO needs to pay up. They started in the first term, and here in his second term, we've accelerated that. 32 NATO countries committed to spending 5% of their GDP on defense, on actually investing in the NATO alliance.
America's listening to Fox News.
What is the Safe Haven Law? In New Mexico, you can bring your infant up to 90 days old to any Safe Haven site without fear of being criminally charged. This includes hospitals, fire stations, and police departments. Monica Kelsey, founder of Safe Haven Baby Boxes, has worked diligently to provide 3 baby box locations for your convenience. Hobbs's Baby Box is at Fire Station 1, 301 East White Street. Carlsbad's Baby Box is at Fire Department Station 1, 401 South Jalagueno Street. Roswell's Baby Box is at their Central Fire Station, 200 South Richardson Avenue. Remember, if you can't make it to one of these Safe Haven Baby Box locations, you can take your infant to any hospital, police department, or fire station. No shame, no blame, and no names. Visit shbb.org for more information.
This is Davis Smith, the Guerrilla Lawyer, and I'm talking to you from my office on 3130 North Grimes in Hobbs, New Mexico. Our office has exploded with new clients. And do you know why? Fast settlements, fantastic customer service, and man, we love paying our clients money. If you get injured in a car wreck, you come see the Gorilla. Remember, if you get injured, you get the Gorilla.
Visit 3130 North Grimes or call 575-964-2720. That's 964-2720.
This is Danny Rose, Premier Ford Lincoln, and it's hot outside right now, I'm telling you. And the prices have never been hotter on our 2024 last of the year Super Duties. That's right, we got about 20 coming, 3 truckloads, 4 truckloads, and we got to get rid of them really quick. We got 20 days to get rid of them. Some of the best prices ever, up to $10,000 on Super Duty. If you've been looking, you got to take advantage of this situation right now. 575-393-6176. That's our number. Ask about the Super Duty Sizzling Summer Sale. Come check us out over here in the Hobbs, America.
Hey, man, turn that down. Where's my keys?
Hey, what's the rush?
I'm headed to the JC to sign up for some classes.
What's the hurry? We barely graduated.
I heard classes are filling up.
So what, you're gonna be a scientist or something?
Man, I could be a welder, police officer, barber, or maybe even a nurse. They make bank.
Yeah, right.
They even have audio and video classes for you.
Really? Hold up. Let me get my keys and I'll drive.
Just roll on out to New Mexico Junior College and register at nmjc.edu today.
Registration ends August 15th.
4th of July event now at National Furniture Liquidators. Independence from high furniture prices. The whole store on sale. Deals like a reclining sofa or love seat, just $488 each. A queen-size mattress, $198. Contemporary bedroom set, $697. Or Ashley best-selling dinette set, just $788. Plus great financing options regardless of your credit. National Furniture Liquidators. When it comes to value, quality, and selection,
nobody beats yours.
As a single mom, it means a lot to me to have a strong banking relationship. With the cost of living as it is, I have to make the most of every dollar I make.
Every member has different wants and needs. That's the basis of relationship-based personal service. A strong credit union is built on strong relationships. Estacado Federal Credit Union, where you are more than a number. You're a member. Federally insured by NCUA.
Dear Summer Vacay, load up on fun in a new Toyota. 4Runner's an off-road icon. Tundra hauls it all with its tenacious twin-turbo engine. And Tacoma takes adventure straight to the top. Want to ride with sizzling hot style and efficiency? The all-hybrid Camry is revving and ready. Visit Toyota.com or your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
Visit Permian Toyota in Hobbs today. Toyota, let's go places. Come out to the 69th Annual Smokey Bear Stampede, July 2nd through July 5th at the completely redesigned Lincoln County Fairgrounds in Capitan, New Mexico. This event will have nightly open rodeos, daily ranch rodeos, along with a youth ranch rodeo. There will be an additional $20,000 jackpot added to the average jackpot, which is $2,500 to each event. Come out on July 4th for their annual parade along Smokey Bear Boulevard at 10 a.m. and meet Capitan Smokey Bear each night at the rodeo. They'll have nightly performances by Charo Daniel Castro, mutton busting, calf scramble, food, shopping, and much more. They'll have nightly dances from 9 p.m. to midnight. Event admission is $12 for adults and $8 for seniors and kids 6 to 12. It's the 69th Annual Smokey Bear Stampede in Capitan, New Mexico. Follow them on Facebook or SmokeyBearStampede.com. This ad is paid for by the Lincoln County Lodgers Tax.
Be in the Breakfast Club, powered by Permian Ford and PermianFord.com. Home of the lifetime Permian Powertrain promise.
You get me going, you keep me moving, you got me on my way with what you're doing.
It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, and we're just the fire hydrant.
I think he's got the sweetest job in the world, man.
Take the time to thank all our sponsors. Be in the Breakfast Club.
Everyone's cranky and angry. Humid temperatures high, so hot, wish I could die. Please turn the AC up for me. Now, I just took a shower, but I'm starting to sweat. My whole body is dripping and my head soaking wet. Everyone is miserable, the air is so thick. Please go away quick. So humid, please hit the road, or else I might explode. Hate you and I might crack badly. Start a killing spree.
Yeah, you guys might not have the humidity, but I'm suffering with like 90% humidity and 90 degrees today in the Philippines, doing electrical work and sweating a little bit more.
We're about, let me look. We were like at 54% earlier.
Really? That's high for New Mexico.
Well, I mean, it's still, we've had the lingering moisture from the monsoons.
Yeah, that's actually high for New Mexico.
Yesterday it was over 60%.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so the song fits for you guys too. Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Looks like Animal Control in California responded to an Office Max parking lot to rescue a kitten hidden in the engine compartment of a car. That happens quite often.
Yep.
Yes.
It does.
Yeah, that the cat is hiding in the engine compartment. By the way, the cat was super bummed out because it was trying to get the hell out of California. I mean, it was like, damn, I mean, can I get out of here? I didn't ask to be rescued.
Stowaway.
I'm not asking for you to rescue me. Let me go, please. And the Upper East Side's last print magazine shop called the Hotspot to get all the X-rated magazines in New York is closing its doors. By the way, the landlord is converting the building to luxury condos. Yeah, if you want dirty magazines in New York City now, you'll have to go to Anthony Weiner's apartment. So if you don't know who Anthony Weiner is, Monica, you know who Anthony Weiner is?
He was the guy that hid a text or a laptop. He was Clinton's assistant, right?
Yeah,
No.
he actually
different wiener?
showed himself.
Yeah,
and
he
you know the
showed his wiener.
crazy. Yeah, he showed his wiener. Anthony Weiner
To
showed his
everyone.
wiener to underage girls. But
Lord
the caveat of this story, we talked about Soros' son getting married to what's
His
her name?
ex-wife, wouldn't it?
Yeah, his ex-wife. She worked for Hillary Clinton.
Right.
Anthony Weiner was a city councilor in New York City, but she married George Soros's son.
She traded up.
Aberdeen is her last name. I don't remember her first name. Yeah. 20 years since the first time the Twilight book was published. Yes, you're getting old, okay?
It's glittery.
20 years. Twilight came out. Unbelievable. And Joe Morelli, best known for his roles in General Hospital in Santa Barbara, died this week. He was 68 years old, had stomach cancer.
Oh.
What a way to go. What a way to go. According to a new survey, 4 in 10 Americans are having second thoughts about traveling this year, especially overseas. Sorry about that. I'll scratch that off your bucket list. All right, what are you dying from nowadays? So heart attacks are down. Is that because Americans are getting more exercise? Do you think they're getting more exercise?
Yeah. If heart attacks are down, what about still like pulmonary disease, right? I mean, is that still high? I mean,
so it said the leading heart disease, leading cause of death around the world. However, overall heart disease rates over the past 5 decades have dropped by 66% of the Americans aged 25 and older, according to a brand new study. Even better, deaths from heart attacks have dropped nearly 90%. Over the last 50 years, our understanding of heart disease and what causes it and the way we treat it has evolved, helping people survive cardiac arrests. But according to the recent study, heart attacks are not killing people. What is killing the people? What is killing folks?
well, I would venture to guess, and I haven't looked up the list, but I would guess that the same top 10 are probably the same
Obesity.
top 10. Sugar.
Obesity. Yep, sugar.
But I think sugar is
Obesity.
an undercausing lie. Is the underlying cause of many of those things. So whether it's obesity straight out, whether it's diabetes brought on by that, whether it's failing blood vessels, whether it's we have had
a
disease.
50% increase, a 40% increase from 1970 to 2022, and then we had another 30% increase in the last couple years. So diabetes and high blood pressure, poor food choices, and that type of stuff has brought on obesity, leading cause of death.
There you go.
In America. All right. Remember Blake, when we started talking about these scanners, these license plate scanners?
Right.
You were like, I don't know about that. But then it led to multiple arrests. But a lot of states are thinking about removing those scanners. And the reason is that ICE is using the scanners. So Illinois, California, and Virginia are thinking about removing the scanners.
If they're using them, I may have to change my stance. I'm not yet, but I might.
All right, John Fetterman, Maverick, John Fetterman. The more shock treatment he received, the more he started to make sense. He at one time was a self-proclaimed progressive.
Yes, he was.
I mean, when he ran in 2022, he was a progressive. but he has evolved that some people are saying just switched to Republican.
He is not Republican. He is more center for a Democrat.
Yeah, he is a moderate Democrat.
Well, he's actually, if you go back 40 years, he would still be a left wing of the Democrat Party. It's just the
really?
Democrat Party has moved
Has
so far
evolved.
left
Yeah.
that he is now a moderate in a Democrat Party.
Wow.
So in the polls, Fetterman's approval rating is 41%, with 37% of voters disapproving of him. Among Republicans, however, Fetterman is at 45% approval rating, which is jumped up 5 points. And the last couple, his approval rating among Republicans is higher than his approval rating of Democrats. His approval rating among Democrats is only 39%. And what is amazing, when you look at as a whole congressional approval rating, it's like in the teens. So even if his approval rating is 39%, that's still pretty good for somebody. Yeah, I mean, it really, that actually is pretty good. Volunteers across the state have been picking up trash. Beautification of course, New Mexico. And Brian Cranston came out with that $3 million anti-litter campaign. And then the state launched their campaign. And
that was part of the state. Remember, we paid for that.
Yeah.
He didn't do that.
Yeah,
on his
we
own.
did. Yeah, but I'm talking about the state came back and spent another $3 million to get people to help out. And volunteers have filled up about 130 big bags of litter collected in New Mexico.
That's
and
awesome.
I'm just saying,
good start.
That is a start.
Yep.
How many plastic bags do we see like on a windy day? Looks like a
Hundreds.
flag.
100. How many trees are they hung in?
Yeah, yeah, and they stay there for years.
Well,
and
I mean,
years.
even if you go, our trees get them, and I go and I pull them down usually once a week, and then within a week or two, there's 2 or 3 more back in the tree, and I'm like, good Lord.
Yeah.
So, Blake, this is right up your alley. The Food Independence Summit is teaching folks about how to be self-sufficient.
Amen.
And get her done. And what group of people is probably the most self-sufficient group of people in America?
Amish,
no doubt. No doubt. So for decades, many Americans, didn't grow their food. But when you go to Amish country in Ohio,
or Pennsylvania, or any of those areas.
Or Pennsylvania, but they have been in Walnut Creek, Ohio. They have been holding, seminars on how to grow your own food, how to can your own food.
Yep.
And it is actually a tourism mecca now.
Well,
that shows people
that's
how to live.
There's a big store there. It's called Layman's, and they have a lot of equipment and stuff to help you be self-sufficient, right? And some of the stuff is made by Amish, but it's basically run from an Amish standpoint. But there now are a lot of homesteading expos and stuff going on that are teaching people how to be self-sufficient.
So they just had their recent summit. It was held June 18th and 19th, and it attracted over 5,000 people across the country. A lot of people are thinking about getting healthier and becoming more self-sufficient. Some of the things that they taught there: beekeeping, cheese making, butchering, canning, gardening, bread making, soil care, meat processing, microgreens, and the list goes on and on. But 5,000 people showed up. That is pretty. That is pretty outstanding.
That's very cool. Yeah. And it would be fun to go talk to some of those folks. And of course, like I've said before, there are some magazines out there if people are so inclined to check it out. I mean, things like magazines have been around for a long time, like Grit, right? That's a self-sufficiency magazine, and you can learn a lot from that.
Grit.
Gavin Newsom talking about the gas tax. California, you guys are getting ready to get hammered. and you don't even know it. California gas tax set to surge coming up July 1st. Prices increasing 65 cents a gallon. Look, they're paying over $6 a gallon right now. By the time Gavin Newsom and his clowns take care of you, it'll be $9 a gallon. 65-cent tax. What is the gas tax already in California? That's got to be very, very high. Now, this is the same type of tax that the governor tried to initiate, and it passed, that it is going to go up so much every year, but it hasn't gone into effect now. What's the holdup? Not that I want them to. What is the holdup on
They got to
that?
wait till she's not in office. She doesn't want to get the blame for what she did.
Oh, yeah. That's the way that works. But fuel tax in New Mexico, our fuel tax is quite high.
Yes.
Our fuel tax, I'm sure California is number one for sure. But, when you look at some states, how much they pay in fuel tax, like Missouri, back in the day, didn't have a fuel tax. Well, right now it's 2.9.
Yeah.
2.95. New Mexico, we're at 1.888. And where's California? California is probably the highest in the country.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that's fuel tax.
Hawaii
You start
is really high
adding.
too.
Yeah. Well, and you would expect that. I could accept that with Hawaii because you got to ship in.
Right.
There's no refineries, or they're not producing gas in Hawaii. So I get that. But July 1st, if you're planning a trip to California, gas prices going up 65 cents. All right, we're going to talk about Zelensky and Donald Trump getting together. We'll get to that in just a bit. Joaquin Jeffries talking about the goals of the Democratic Party. This coming off the big win in New York City that happened night before last. Here's what he had to say about the goals of the party. He was on MSNBC.
House Democrats and what our focus has been, clearly we have an affordability crisis in the United States of America, and our focus will continue to be on driving down the high cost of living in this country. Donald Trump promised to lower costs on day one. Costs haven't gone down, they're going up. He's crashing the economy in real time. His tariffs are...
By the way, Donald Trump never said day one, I'm bringing down the price of food. You know who said that? Kamala Harris.
Right.
Well, and
Donald Trump never, ever said it. And these... Go ahead.
Yeah, what do you mean you're going to fight to bring them down? You let them go through the roof.
Well, I mean, it just didn't happen yesterday.
No, we did it under Biden.
Exactly. All right, all you folks that are talking about selling off federal land, let me just say, you've got a friend, and Teresa Legger Fernandez, Representative
Cultural
Teresa Legger Fernandez. You have a buddy, and Teresa. She's fighting.
Got it right. It's not about the budget. It was about selling off your public lands to wealthy developers. Now, Senator Mike Lee has said he's not stepping down. He's going to keep fighting this. He's going to change his proposal and say, well, now I'm only going to sell off your public lands if it's within 5 miles of a local town, if it's on BLM land. Well, guess what? There's a lot of beautiful land that belongs to you, to the public, within those 5 miles. So if Senator Lee isn't backing down, neither are we.
Oh, neither are we. We're going to continue to fight the Democratic Party.
You know, here's the thing. Again, Republican lawmakers in this state, you can do a bill that no Democrat would dare vote against.
Yeah.
And if you need my help, call me. I'll help you.
Didn't we say the same thing about no tax on tips, though? No tax on overtime?
Yeah, but that's part of the big, beautiful bill. And
Yeah,
again,
so
there's parts of that I don't agree with.
We have
in the
all
big-
said.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
for the majority, I think we need to get it done.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get to the boob of the day coming up next. We've got good news of the day, and they're busy in Iran. They're killing folks, their own people. They're looking for people that leaked information. We'll get to that coming up next. Morning show this morning being brought to you by La Tienda. You can find them in Pecos, Texas at 810 South Eddy. If you're new to Pecos, looking for a place to shop, La Tienda is awesome. They've got the beef bottom round steak for $3.97 a pound. Chicken tenders, $2.97 a pound. Raw shrimp for $5.97 a pound. And get the boneless sirloin cut pork chops for $1.97 a pound. Produce department, 5 avocados. You can get them for $1.99. Get the yellow onions, 3-pound bag for just 99 cents. Russet potatoes, 5-pound bag for $1.99. And you can get your golden cantaloupes for $5.99 a pound, and get the yellow peaches for $2.99 per pound. And the deli department, you can get the white bread. They make that the split top honey wheat bread for $1.68 a loaf. And right next door in the deli department, get the mesquite smoked turkey breast for $7.49, Virginia smoked ham for $5.49 a pound, and mild cheddar cheese for $7.49 a pound. And while you're shopping at La Tienda in Pecos, Texas, pick up all your refreshments. They've got Mountain Dew, they've got Big Red, and they've got Pepsi. Get 2 12-packs for $11. Get it today at La Tienda in Pecos, Texas. Monica and the Tex, it's 15 minutes away from 9.
Hey, B, remember, she's Latina. You have to say her name in Spanish. And John from
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
Who is Latina?
Teresa Legger.
She is
Fernandez.
not. She is not. She is a white woman
Look,
who took the name Fernandez by marriage.
She was married to an Hispanic. That makes her Hispanic. She's got Hispanic in her.
She used to.
Maybe.
She's Miss Cultural Appropriation.
John from Eunice says, did you guys see where that mayor in California was calling on the local gang members and hood rats to rise up?
Yep.
Yes. I went and
We
watched
played that
it, and I
yesterday.
just, I wanted to freaking pinch her in her mouth and like, you know when somebody just aggravates you just with the way that they speak or something? That's
Yeah, the cholos.
her little
I'm calling on the
cholita
cholos to
rat
come out.
face
Yeah.
mouth. I just,
You know,
wanted to hit
I
my
learned
own.
something. I learned something as a
Seriously.
kid back in the day. My mom taught me this many years ago. And she said, if you take your top lip and put it with your bottom lip, that you won't say stupid stuff.
That was
Really,
a good one.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Continue,
gosh.
Monica. 846.
All right. And I thought the Democrats said during the election that prices weren't high and that everything was fine.
Oh, they
Yeah,
did.
they did.
Yeah.
They did. But of course, it was all Trump's fault.
Good call.
Even when he wasn't in office, the prices were high. Patricia from West Odessa says, good. California deserves what they get. You're right. I don't like nothing else in that state.
It's a beautiful state.
It is.
And
a
there
beautiful state.
were
It
a lot
is.
of good people there. There's only a few good people there now, but that's,
Hawaii's gas prices are $4.50 per gallon. A la máquina. And Smokey says, is it really sugar or is it the high fructose corn syrup that's
Both.
killing people?
Both.
And maybe she does have some Hispanic in her. Just depends on the night, said Big Trucker C.
You guys are bad.
Oh, listen. Fats, I'm not going to read what you wrote. Chris in Carlsbad said, I'm showing 84% humidity in Carlsbad.
Oh, wow.
Well, you guys have all the water. Dirt Road Jen said, are we going to have another day of government weather?
I hope not.
Richard in the Patch says Joe Rogan is a pinnacle of in shape. He has plenty of experience doing MMA fighting and wasn't necessarily in the cage, but definitely spent his time doing tournaments. Joe Rogan's no joke. He was an experienced fighter long before he was in the MMA as an announcer. Where do you think he gained all the knowledge, moves and the submissions and the techniques, knew how to analyze it? Most cage fighters would not fight Joe Rogan. That being said, Tiger Princess has no business stepping in the ring with Joe Rogan.
The dude looks bad. I mean, he looks like he's suffering from mental health or maybe substance abuse.
Sure. Our Teacher Breakfast Club fan says, what is killing us and making people sick is the COVID shot.
That too.
You're not lying. You're not
Yeah,
lying
no
about
joke.
that. Lord Jesus. Fetterman still voted with Biden like 95% of the time, said a texter.
True. That's what I said. He's not a Republican. Don't even make that mistake.
Joe Rogan would punch his chest so hard his shoulders would touch. And Rocket said, Monica, just because someone is built, in quotations, doesn't mean they can fight. Oh, I agree completely. And they should have Joe Rogan.
I've seen people go down from a baseball hit to the head, baseball bat hit to the head. I mean, and they were really built.
And there's like different kinds of builds, in my opinion. When I look at some of you men and I'm just like, oh, dang, he's like, rough and stuff with his Afro puffs, whatever, like his big old gym body. And then you see like a farmer dude who's like just as equally strong, if not stronger, but, gets his muscle from, I don't know. Work. Yeah, it's like there's different kinds of strongs. They should have Joe Rogan and the Liver King do a Fear Factor episode, said a texter. That sure would bring a lot of money in. Hippie from the Patch said, good morning, everyone. I just went on days off. I hope everyone has a great day. Aw.
Awesome.
Happy days off, Hippie from the Patch. Yeah. Patriot Larry said, I want to see the fight. I put my money on Joe. And speaking of Joe Rogan, did y'all see that interview with him and Bernie Sanders? It was on.
Yeah, boy, Bernie. Man. But I mean, look, that guy's been making money off the same old song and dance.
For years.
Years and years.
Still your words.
But I mean, it's became more popular. It has become more popular in recent years.
Well, he is
more socialist in this country.
Yeah. Well, blame the universities. You can see where they're being turned out from.
Yep, no doubt.
And good morning, guys, and Monica. May y'all have a great, blessed, new, thankful Thursday. You are so.
I appreciate it. All right, we'll get to the boob of the day coming up next. Iran intensifies their international, or maybe make that internal security crackdown after the United States strikes, and looks like they're offing people. Iranians are looking for spies in the country, and they're making mass arrests and executing people today. Authorities in Iran began the crackdown today, and they say they are looking for the people who are spies. Not everybody is backing the Ayatollah.
That kind of sounds like Nazi Germany, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds a hell of a lot like Nazi Germany, for sure. But they are looking for the spies. Look, all of those countries. I mean, same thing with North Korea. North Korea, I mean, if you speak against the government, and this is what gets me about all these people with the no kings and tyrannical Donald Trump.
It's what they want here.
Look what these guys do. You talk against the president of the United States, that means he would kill you.
Yep.
We don't have that.
Nope.
Come on. Stop it already. That's just silly. The whole thing is so silly. Nuts. All right, Blake, let's get to Boob of the Day so we kind of stay on time. Boob of the Day this morning being brought to you by Desert Functional Medicine Aesthetics, medical professionals on staff. Living in pain, they offer stem cell therapy and ozone therapy. Go talk to them about the ozone therapy and the stem cell therapy. And ladies, if you're suffering with hormonal issues, They offer hormonal optimization. They've got like tons of things that they do aesthetic wise. They do the vitamin infusions. And guys, testosterone has been a game changer for me. I mean, I'm finally able to lose weight, get in better shape, and feel so much better. Energy level is way up. All of that because of testosterone. And, you know, when you're getting on testosterone, it's so important that you go with somebody that knows what they're talking about. Somebody who's going to get your blood levels and check on your blood levels because you have a sweet spot. You don't want your testosterone to be through the roof. You don't want it to be real low. They have a lab right there at that location, 3900 North Lovington Highway. Check them out today. Give them a call. Make that appointment. 575-964-8025. Desert Functional Medicine and Aesthetics, proud sponsor of the Boob of the Day.
So the Mystery Machine might be headed to Duncanville, Alabama, because someone robbed a Quick Stop convenience store there last weekend while wearing a Scooby-Doo costume. Scooby made off with cash and coins, but did not take any Scooby snacks. The suspect is described as a white guy, approximately 5'9". Authorities warn that he could get away with it. So they're asking for help, possibly from some meddling kids. They posted some photos of the perp from the store security camera. The Scooby-Doo costume was a little closer to pajamas because there's no head on it. Instead, he was wearing a ski mask over his head, which would be perfect for like classic Scooby-Doo unmasking. People have posted some funny comments on social media. They include, have you interviewed Fred, Daphne, Velma, and Shaggy to see if they were waiting for Scooby in the Mystery Machine? Instead of an ankle monitor, can we do a shot collar? Ruh-roh, Raggy. Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, where are you? And I think someone is trying to frame Scooby. Anyway, there's a lot of them. My favorite one was, Jinkies. I bet it's old man Wickles who owns the haunted amusement park. That was my favorite one. Anyway, for being a store robber with a mask and a Scooby-Doo costume, you are the boob of the day.
Boob of the Day being brought to you by Desert Functional Medicine and Aesthetics. Check them out today. My buddy Scott Ennis is the voice of Scooby-Doo. Does afternoons on country radio station, in Baton Rouge. I'm trying to think of the name of it, but he does the voice of Scooby-Doo. Has had that gig for a number of years. Scott Ennis, Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Started his career as a radio guy and then took off by doing cartoon characters. I bet he makes more money doing cartoons.
I bet he does too.
Yeah. I'm just thinking out loud. All right, 50 Cent is speaking out when it comes to the mayor's race in New York. 50 is like, wait a second.
I don't live in New York.
You want to tax me at what rate? We'll get to that. Also, looks like Zelensky got to meet with Donald Trump. We'll talk about that coming up. And Ron DeSantis actually talking about Florida property values skyrocketing after the socialist was nominated in Florida.
I told you they're going to.
And the Rural Health Care Fund is opening for applications in New Mexico. We'll get you updated with those stories and more on the way. KWMW Miles Jamora, 105.1 FM, also 93.5 KWES Ruidoso, and KDAZ AM 700 FM 96.9 and Albuquerque just before 9 o'clock. We're going to take a break, keep you updated with everything going on. Monica, anything on the text before we take a break?
From Joe the Vet, someone mentioned the Liver King earlier. I believe he was shown to be a fraud, not living the life he sells. And this texter said there is a big difference between work muscle and show muscle. Amen. Frank in the Patch sent something in. Okay. Peace in the Middle East brought back the astronauts back from space, securing the borders, stopping genocide in South Africa, making NATO pay their fair share, bringing jobs back to the good old USA, firing the Federal Reserve Chairman, And we'll finish the list next month. Too many to mention. Got to get to work now, says Frank in the Patch. He was just listing all the things that
Amen.
Trump
Amen.
has done.
Amen.
Yep.
Yeah, I was coming back from eating supper, getting ready to come back up to the studio, and my German friend passed by, and he always gives me crap about Trump, and I just turned around and said, it feels so good to be winning.
Right.
Unlike Germany, you guys haven't won in so long. And he goes, I know. We have pretty much given up in our country. Well, we haven't given up. They'll give us crap. They think Netanyahu is controlling Trump. They haven't learned that Trump is controlling Netanyahu. All right, good news of the day coming up in a second. Let's take a break, get you updated with everything going on this morning. News this morning being brought to you by WWRV. Find them at WWRV3.com, 988-0392. Affordable, quiet place to park your RV. If you're working or living around Carlsbad, they've got 3 RV parks. They'll put you in the right one. They've got over 162 RV sites. 30 and 50 amps available, all utilities included. That includes your high-speed internet, all included for that low, low price. They're pet-friendly, very well lit up. It's just a nice place for working folks. Go to that website, WWRV3.com. Taking a break. We are Beyond the Breakfast Club.
MTD Radio News, I'm Blake Ovard. A teen has died after becoming involved in a crash with a semi in Lee County around 4:47 a.m. on Tuesday on Orla Road. Deputies arrived on scene to find a maroon 2016 GMC Sierra driven by 19-year-old Dominic Calderon, and a semi had crashed. During the investigation, deputies found the GMC Sierra was traveling northbound on Orla Road when it crashed with a semi that was exiting Elise Road to the east and was in the process of turning south onto Orla Road when the crash occurred. The GMC was lodged under the trailer and Calderon died on scene. New Mexico Department of Transportation is in the design phase for the Rio Felix Bridge on US 285 south of Roswell. The design will include the construction of a new support piers for additional lane capacity and structural support. Initial emergency repairs to reinforce the damage were completed earlier this year, which allowed the bridge to reopen one lane of traffic in each direction. During repairs, the need for additional work to restore and strengthen the bridge was identified, extending the project deadline. Design work is expected to be completed within the next 2 to 3 months. Once finalized, construction will begin, and it is estimated to take approximately 2 months to complete, weather permitting. And while Eddy County has been debating on if passengers should fly to Phoenix or Dallas, Lee County commissioners and the Hobbs City Commission have signed memorandums of understanding that will provide air service to Love Field in Dallas from the Lee County Regional Airport 3 times a week. Flights offered by Dallas-based Jet Suite X Airlines will be on Monday, Friday, and Sunday, with ticket prices starting around $159 one way. And Roswell native Casey Conley has been formally sworn in as the Deputy Chief of Staff for the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Office of Congressional Relations in Washington, D.C., where he will help lead the agency's legislative strategies and engagement with Capitol Hill. Conley has worked as Yvette Harrell's campaign manager and the City of Roswell's Administrative Chief of Staff before stepping into his new federal position. And that's the way it is. I'm Blake Ovard. This is MTD Radio News.
The City of Hobbs summer pool season is on, and we're ready to make a splash. Del Norte Pool, located at 4314 North Grimes, is open Tuesday through Sunday, 12 p.m. to 6, closed on Mondays. Humble Pool at 700 North Grimes is open Tuesday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., and Sundays from 12 p.m. to 6. Saturdays are reserved for private parties, and the pool is closed on Mondays. Planning a party or special event? You can rent our pools and pavilions for private gatherings. Just visit corehobbs.com, click on register, or call 575-397-9291 on weekdays for all the details. So grab your towels, sunscreen, and friends and splash into summer fun with your City of Hobbs.
Hey folks, Brian Bruce here at Mustang Country Chevrolet in Denver City. Tired of waiting for service? Our service department is open and ready to take care of you today. Call, click, or come by and let us help you so you can keep rolling. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 6. Together, let's drive to Mustang Country Chevy, 604 West Broadway in Denver City. Your road to savings as big as Texas.
Hey, man, turn that down. Where's my keys?
Hey, what's the rush?
I'm headed to the JC to sign up for some classes.
What's the hurry? We barely graduated.
I heard classes are filling up.
So what, you're gonna be a scientist or something?
Man, I could be a welder, police officer, barber, or maybe even a nurse. They make bank.
Yeah, right.
They even have audio and video classes for you.
Really? Hold up. Let me get my keys and I'll drive.
Just roll on out to New Mexico Junior College and register at nmjc.edu today.
Registration ends August 15th.
I love Water Mania at Cliffs Amusement Park. It's really fun, and there are tons of cool water slides. I love it when me and my friends are under the big bucket of water and get so soaked.
Get your tickets at cliffsamusementpark.com.
Over 30 rides and attractions
makes Cliffs a blast for everyone. You never have to choose at Cliffs. You get it all.
Get your tickets at cliffsamusementpark.com.
Be one with fun!
If you're a service member, veteran, or family member who's feeling alone,
whether you're in crisis or not,
don't remain silent and suffer alone.
There is help out there.
Talk to someone you can trust.
Free confidential support is available 24/7 through the Veterans Crisis Line. Just text or call 988 and press 1 for veterans. Talking to someone about suicide won't increase the risk of suicide. It could save a life.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Department of Veterans Services, the Department of Health, the NMBA, and this station.
Hi, this is Danny Kirkendall with Guy Chevrolet Company in Artesia. We're celebrating 100 years in business here on the corner of 1st and Main in Artesia, and we invite you to come see us for your new Chevy GMC or a just perfect pre-owned vehicle. Our GM certified team is ready to assist you, so give us a call at 575-746-3551 or visit us online at guychevy.com.
Guy Chevrolet celebrating 100 years at the corner of 1st and Main in downtown Artesia.
Imagine a world where teams wore plain, uninspired uniforms. Functional? Sure. Eye-catching? Hardly. But as times evolved, so did the demand for standout styles. Enter the era of awesome graphics. Located at 523 West Sanger in Hobbs, New Mexico, they revolutionized team and work attire. Their secret? High-quality FR uniforms from renowned brands like Ariat, Lapco, Byrne, and Bulwark, paired with cutting-edge technology for vibrant, multicolor logos. Awesome Graphics bridges the gap, offering both sports and industrial uniforms that don't just fit well, they inspire. From Nike office shirts to Adidas and Oakley designs, they ensure every team and staff look as professional as they perform. They're not just about appearances at Awesome Graphics, they're about empowering teams. So if you're in Southeast New Mexico and need uniforms that speak volumes, the choice is clear. Visit myawesomegraphics.com and discover how they can elevate your team's image. Awesome Graphics, where style meets performance.
This show is powered by Permian Ford. Stop by and see Daniel Bellis today.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on.
Bee and the Breakfast Club, the radio version of Hooked on Phonics.
It's so stupid and awesome.
Text now 877-396-W105 to talk to Bee and the Breakfast Club.
Hey, we're going to get to the good news of the day coming up in a second. 50 Cent's talking about the Democratic Socialist candidate. After looking at the tax plan, he was like, wait a second. So 50 Cent's offered to pay for the New York City Democratic mayor candidate, Zoran help me there, Blake, Mandawi, to leave the state on Wednesday. He said, I will pay you to leave the state after he learned about the tax plan. Now, Mandawi and 50 Cent have something in common. No, Mandawi's never been shot. 50 Cent has multiple times. But the video, he was on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne and said, I will pay you to leave. Look, 50 Cent is a New Yorker. Right. He loves New York. Who wants to give up more than half of the money that half of the money he makes, more than half, and when you got to pay city tax?
Yeah.
On top of all that? Think about that. In New Mexico, you got a state tax. New York also has a city tax, correct?
They got all kinds of taxes, yeah.
But they have a tax on your earnings also.
Yes. And
so that's why people like Rush Limbaugh and them are like, we got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah. And at least
Sean Hannity, too. Sean Hannity was a New Yorker.
At least 50 Cent offered him a first-class ticket.
Yeah, he offered him a first class, and and DeSantis predicts that Florida property values will continue to skyrocket after a Democrat socialist wins the nominee for the. I mean, look, it's for the Democratic Party.
Well, if you remember yesterday, I just said that Florida is going to be the recipient of good things from that.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have all the wealthy and the businesses and stuff leave. And since the majority of New Yorkers, when they leave New York, head to South Florida, that's probably a logical location.
Yeah. I agree. So DeSantis is like, Florida's wide open. And, you know, DeSantis said, look, we are recruiting police officers, because this guy also said that we're going to, you know, when it comes to funding the police, he's like, we're looking for, you know, police and fire, and we give a bonus when you come from New York City. They're like, really? Let's get her done.
I just wonder where investment firms are going to move to.
That's the big question. You know, all the people that work on Wall Street and
right. And I know that there's a Chicago Stock Exchange, and I know that there's a Texas Stock Exchange and stuff, but where is it really going to go? Because, I mean, is there anything really set up for the Wall Street to move?
Eventually. Eventually. Texas, remember Texas just opened, it's 3 years?
Yeah. So, I mean, it'll be interesting. I mean, the world is changing fast.
Yep. Trump says Zelensky wants the war with Russia to end after they met during the NATO summit, saying he's ready for it to end. And he needs a real peace deal.
Well, get her done.
I mean, look, he had Putin's ear this week. Putin called him and said, I'll help you with Iran, and he said, no, I need your help with Russia. Let's make that happen. You know, I think if Trump would ever get in front of Putin, they could probably get a deal done and one that would stick.
Probably.
I think that would be it. All right, rural health care fund in New Mexico opens up for applications. That begins July 1st. So if you are uninsured and you're looking to get insurance through the Rural Health Care Fund, it opens up July 1st. So you have to apply. So go and check that out. You can go to their website. All right, 911 text line open 877-396-W105.
Trump is not controlling Benjamin Netanyahu. He's just doing what he needs to do to satisfy Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel so he doesn't get JFK'd, said a texter.
Oh, is this that anti-liberal? Is this an anti-Israeli texter? Is that who that is?
I don't know. The 432 number?
Yeah, they hate Israel and Jewish people.
Those New York City folks have entered the find out portion of F around and find out. And another one said the Orlando Stock Exchange is what it will be called.
Oh,
okay. Oh, yeah.
And that's all for the text line.
All right, it looks like experts gauging the bunker buster and, you know, did they hit? Did they not hit? I know CNN saying they did not hit, but the great majority of the experts are saying, yes, they hit. And they completely destroyed everything. So, sorry if that offends you. Yeah. Syracuse mother of 4 was detained by ICE. So you got people saying that this woman and her kids were removed from the country. Her kids aged 13, 9, 10, and 6. It's not the way that works.
Nope.
By the way, if they're U.S. citizens, now that's the point. Oh, no, they're deporting U.S. citizens.
Nope.
No. The woman or her kids were sent to Texas, and they're waiting, being sent back to her home country of Guatemala. Some people in Syracuse, New York, are very upset that these folks were deported back to Guatemala. Something tells me there's more to that story.
Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe like a criminal record or something, because I just don't think they're picking up mothers off the street.
No.
By the way, the numbers are about 80% have a criminal record. 80%. Trump's borders are warning that the Biden-era gotaways are something we're going to have to pay for a long time. Tom Homan discussing this past Sunday, that we're going to have to pay for that for a long, long time. All right, 9:14, we are B and the Breakfast Club. Weather for the day, we're calling for a chance of sunny skies this morning for southeast New Mexico. We still have the flash flood watch in effect. 40% chance of rain this afternoon, 30% tonight, 20% tomorrow. And by the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, sunny skies, and it's going to be in the upper 90s. In Ruidoso, Lincoln County, 70% chance of rain. You have a flood watch in effect today into tonight. 70% chance of rain, 74 the high today, 55 tonight, and then more rain coming up for Friday and Saturday, and actually Sunday also in Lincoln County. And in Albuquerque, looks good, 92 and sunny today. Tomorrow, 93 and sunny, and 95 on Saturday. Sunny skies on Saturday and Sunday. Quick look at the weather this morning. It looks like the temperatures are going to remain in the 90s for southeast New Mexico. Check on the weather this morning being brought to you by State Representative Randy Pettigrew, reminding you that he continues to fight for New Mexico, continues to fight for southeast New Mexico. Yes, he is your representative in District 61. He puts out a newsletter from time to time, especially when they are in session. He puts out a newsletter that keeps you abreast of everything going on. What bills are out of committee, what bills are moving forward, what bills pass, what bills are awaiting going to the governor's desk. And if you would like to keep up with that type of information, just go to randallpettigrew.com, sign up for the newsletter. Randy Pettigrew is a constitutional conservative fighting for this state. Message paid for by Randy Pettigrew. Defense Secretary blasting the media for cheering against Trump when it came to the Iranian strikes. I'm going to be honest, on TikTok, there are so many people that are flying the Iranian flag. These are the same pukes that were flying the Ukrainian flag, then it was the Mexican flag, and now it's Iranian flag. Maybe? No, it's the same people.
I know. It's just so funny, though,
They-
having to change out the flag, like literally having to change out your stupid
Rotation.
yes. Oh gosh, instead of just flying one.
I'm gonna be honest.
beautiful flag.
I only have one flag.
I have
That's
two.
the American flag.
I have two.
That's it.
I have two. My second.
Well, I also have the Gadsden flag. It's right here.
I have the Texas flag.
Wait, I got the Confederate flag
You
too.
have the
No,
Texas
I
flag
don't. I was just trying to trigger you people.
We have two. The American and a Trump flag.
So up by our
So-
cabin, there are more Texas flags than there are New Mexico flags.
Sure.
And we're in
Yeah.
New Mexico.
I'd
Oh,
fly
yeah,
a New
I'm
Mexico
sure.
flag if I had one, but I don't
Yeah.
have one.
Supreme Court boots the challenge for the state to defund Planned Parenthood in a major pro-life victory. So Supreme Court ruled in that case over South Carolina's attempt to block public funding for Planned Parenthood And Supreme Court ruled that South Carolina has the power to block Medicaid funding for Planned Parenthood clinics. So this is a win for pro-life, saying that no. South Carolina has the power to block Medicaid from being used for funding abortions in Planned Parenthood clinics. So you would consider that a win for pro-life, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a major win. So Supreme Court is hitting it out of the park in the last couple of days. That's pretty cool.
That's good news.
Keep doing it.
Yep.
Keep doing the same thing. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We got to stay on time, so we got the good news of the day. Monica, any other text before I take a break?
Yes. What is the debate over whether we completely destroyed the nukes or just partially? If they start them up again, just hit them again. This is more media bullshit.
Yep.
Agreed. And that's it.
I'm with you. Yeah, even though, I mean, you look at the pictures, and you can't tell me that America didn't have people satellite images from before.
Look,
I mean,
the people saying that just want to argue with Donald Trump.
They hate Trump.
Yeah, they just want to argue. The people on the left just want to argue. They don't want discussions.
They could come out with a cure for cancer.
Yep.
And they would still consider him a POS.
And they would find something to say against it.
Yep. All right, let's get you updated with news being brought to you by Fens Country Market in Artesia. Find the big savings going on right now, like the round steak. It's just $3.97 a pound. Chicken tenders, $2.97 a pound. Raw shrimp are $5.97 a pound. And the boneless sirloin cut pork chops are $1.97 a pound. Avocados, $1.99 for a 5-count bag. Get yellow onions, 3-pound bag for 99 cents. Russet potatoes, 5-pound bag for $1.99. Get the golden pineapples for just $2.99. Jalapeno peppers, 99 cents a pound. Get the split top honey wheat bread, a loaf, $1.68. In the deli department, the mesquite turkey breast, it's smoked at $7.49 a pound. Virginia smoked ham for $5.49 a pound. Cheddar cheese for $7.49 a pound. And they are stocked with all of your refreshments, Panhandle, iced tea, the sweet tea, and the lemonade. Get a gallon for $2.98. And when it comes to Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Lite, 12-pack, 16-ounce cans for $12.99. Get it all today at Fens. We're coming right back, 9:21. We're Beyond the Breakfast Club.
Fox News, I'm Therese Crowley. The Ayatollah emerges from his bunker in a video to the Iranian people, claiming victory over the U.S. and Israel, saying Operation Midnight Hammer against Iran's 3 nuclear sites didn't achieve much. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says U.S. intelligence shows the U.S. decimated Iran's nuclear program, set back years.
There are so many aspects of what our brave men and women did that, because of the hatred of this press corps, are undermined. Because your people are trying to leak and spin that it wasn't successful. It's irresponsible.
Hegseth says what the president accomplished at NATO was game-changing and historic. 32 nations boosting defense spending to 5%. Democrats in the Senate want to tie Trump's hands with a vote to require the president to seek approval from Congress before any future strikes against Iran. America is listening to Fox News.
It's that time of year again. Lovington Chamber of Commerce invites you to join the annual 4th of July Party in the Park at Chaparral Park. Start your day at 7 a.m. with the exciting fishing derby hosted by the Kiwanis Club. Feel the adrenaline with dodgeball, thanks to Susanna Salcido State Farm, and show off your skills in the basketball tournament sponsored by Trust Point Promotions. Don't miss the volleyball action courtesy of NM Prodigy Volleyball Club. Car enthusiasts, get ready for the car show presented by the Punishers LEMC. Test your aim in the cornhole tournament and cheer on the world-famous lizard race. Dive into fun with foam zones and bouncy houses. Enjoy delicious food and vendors throughout the day. As the sun sets, Prepare for a breathtaking fireworks display over the lake. Celebrate freedom, fun, and community. For more details or to become a sponsor, you can contact the Lovington Chamber on Facebook or call 575-396-5311. Also sponsored by the City of Lovington, Battle Energy, Eunice Pump and Supply, and Lee County. Ad paid for by Lovington Lodgers Tax.
Hi folks, this is Emily from the world famous Flying J Chuck Wagon in beautiful Ruidoso, New Mexico, inviting you and your family to come out and see our all-new show this season, complete with world-class musicians, a fantastic Chuck Wagon dinner, and of course that same home-style fun and friendliness that you've come to expect over the years. When you visit Bonita City, come early for pony rides, gold panning, and gift shops. All kinds of fun awaits you. Gunfight starts at 6:45 right before supper. Book your tickets online at flyingjranch.com or give us a call, 575-336-4330. Can't wait to see you out at the Flying J Ranch.
This is Daniel Velos, Permian Ford Lincoln, right here in Hobbs, America, corner of Del Paso and Sanger, and it is the final countdown, ladies and gentlemen. We have 2024 F-250, F-350 Super Duty models coming in by the truckloads, and we're going to get rid of them, and we're going to do it right within 20 days. That's right, 20 days to get rid of these bad boys and give you the best deals of the year on Super Duty from Ford. This never happens. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Hit us up right here at Permian Ford Lincoln, corner of Del Paso and Sanger, Hobbs, America.
It's enough cash to leave you sweating. Don't miss Inn of the Mountain Gods $12,600 Summer Heat Hot Seats. Earn entries every Friday in June to enter our hot seat drawings from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. We'll draw 3 players each hour and award them $150 cash. The $12,600 Summer Heat Hot Seats at Inn of the Mountain Gods. Must be 21 or older. Visit innofthemountaingods.com or see Apache Spirit Club for details.
Hey, man, turn that down. Where's my keys?
Hey, what's the rush?
I'm headed to the JC to sign up for some classes.
What's the hurry? We barely graduated.
I heard classes are filling up.
So what, you're gonna be a scientist or something?
Man, I could be a welder, police officer, barber, or maybe even a nurse. They make bank.
Yeah, right.
They even have audio and video classes for you.
Really? Hold up. Let me get my keys and I'll drive.
Just roll on out to New Mexico Junior College and register at nmjc.edu today.
Registration ends August 15th.
Big changes are happening at the Lee County Event Center. They're undergoing a major renovation to bring you a better, more modern venue, inside and out. While the arena is temporarily closed during construction, they're still open for business. The banquet halls remain available and ready to host your next event. From safety meetings and corporate training to baby showers, birthday parties, and wedding receptions, the Lee County Event Center can accommodate you. Need space, service, and support? They have you covered with flexible rooms, affordable rates, and a professional team that cares. Conveniently located in Hobbs, New Mexico on the Lovington Highway, let them help you plan your perfect event during this exciting time of transformation. Call 575-391-2901 to book today. The Lee County Event Center. The arena is closed, but the banquet halls are open. Your experience is their priority, even during renovation.
Are you a self-motivated, hands-on individual with experience in gas line installation and maintenance? If so, Zia Natural Gas Company wants you to join our team as a service technician. Responsibilities of this position include meter reading, meter maintenance, gas line locating, gas main and service installation, odor investigations, damage facility response, and various operations-related tasks. Candidates with a CDL license are preferred. Qualified candidates must possess a high school diploma or GED and pass a drug screening. Although bilingual English-Spanish skills are preferred, they are not required. To apply or obtain a more detailed job description, please visit zngc.com or call 575-392-4277. Applications will be accepted until the positions are filled. Join our team and help us provide safe, reliable gas service to our valued customers.
No! Yes. And I promise you this. Every morning you wake up, I'll be there.
Be in the Breakfast Club, powered by Permian Ford and PermianFord.com. Home of the lifetime Permian powertrain promise. Be in the Breakfast Club, the marshmallows in your hot chocolate of life. B is like bitter chocolate. Monica is sweet like sugar. And Blake, well, he's the spoon. Stir, baby, stir.
Hey, we got to get to good news of the day this morning, being brought to you by Herschel Rustin Hayes, Avenue D and Lovington. Give him a call. He can put together a quote: home, auto, life insurance, commercial insurance, and more. 575-396-0513. Proud sponsor of the good news of the day.
A beach in Maine is in the news for adding a free dog library. Now, instead of books, it's got sticks and tennis balls that you can borrow. Or if your dog falls in love with a certain stick or ball, you can even take it home. They just asked to bring back another toy at some point. Cops rescued a kitten from an engine compartment. You were talking about that in California. And the animal shelter took it in, and it's getting ready to go up for adoption. Now, a woman in Texas lost her wedding ring in a lake last Friday, and she never thought she'd get it back. All she knew, it was somewhere in the area, about 5,000 square feet off of where they were. But a diver spent 2 days trying to find it, and they did. The woman was ecstatic because it's an heirloom dating back to 1910.
Wow.
So he dove the lake with his little metal detector, and he eventually found it. They say he also found about a couple $100 worth of other stuff as well. And Kevin, that is your good news of the day.
Good news this morning being brought to you by Herschel Rustin Hayes. Time for us to go. Tradio is coming up next. News this morning being brought to you by Roach Air Conditioning and Heating, your choice for your next HVAC job. They've got you covered. If the air conditioner is not working, give Enrique Rocha a call, 575-631-1999. If it can be repaired, he's the guy to repair it. If you need a new one, he offers new technology like the inverter-driven heat pump systems. Give him a call, 575-631-1999. Tradio up next. News. Let's check in.
MTD Radio News. I'm Blake